Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Tarkov inventory series stream number 1 to help get your guys' stuff up and running. So I got the project open here, so if you guys have joined and you have issues, join the Discord if you're not in the Discord already, and make a post inside the Unreal Engine help form with Tarkov help as the tag, and then we can work through it together. A bunch of people have already posted stuff related to Tarkov help. I'm sure I could just search that Tarkov help, and these are going to be all the ones that are coming up here. So we'll go through all these just in case they happen to anybody else, and then also we will work in the actual project. So this is the module 1 project file that I put up, so we'll be working in there in case anybody wants to know what. So this is the completed project. This is all 12, but we're going to focus on episode 1 to 7 today because that's what's publicly available. If we have time at the end and there's people who have gone beyond episode 7, if you remember, then we can look at some other stuff as well. Okay, so yeah, welcome to the stream, everybody, once again. Let's see what we got. Streams conveniently landed on my say shifts. On your day shifts, I'm sure you say, because S is next to the D. Very nice. So, says I'm doing some yard work and listening. What's good, David? Happy. Welcome to the stream. Haven't seen you in a minute. Anyone get a 20 on Resolute/Mark? Because he is absolutely vanished from the community. Like he probably actually I think he's the highest level on the Discord in terms of contribution and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, just one day he just dipped. Not sure what happened. So hopefully Mark's okay and we're getting back in the community shortly. David, hello, welcome. Alrighty, so see, I got live chat here, perfect. So one new thing is I now have a goal up there. So 5 super chats of $2 and more will contribute to the goal, and if you guys super chat 5 times, I will put on my new signature crown. Boop, for you guys. All right, so let's get started here. Everything guy says thanks, but no, I see him playing 4K a lot. Oh, really? Okay. 40 or 40K. Copy that. So he's taking a break from game dev. I'm sure something irritated him and he just wants to step away for a second. That's fair. That's fair. All right, then. So we're inside Tarkov. So, you know, here's the finished thing for those who care. So, you know, we'll be working on stacking ammo and all that kind of stuff. We're going to build all of this inventory in future videos. First, I think in the next episode after this one, we're going to build the key item slot. And then episode 9, I believe, we build this whole character slot thing. And episode 10, we start getting it kind of ready to go. Episode 11's a doozy. You guys, what do you guys think of the debug flags and all that kind of stuff in the videos? I'm really interested. Yeah, sorry, you're right. Sorry, you can't see my screen because I didn't change them over here. So anyways, yeah, I'm curious how you guys find the debugging flags, because I was trialing that in this series to see, because obviously the series is pretty complex. So, yeah, I just thought that was a really fun way for us to recognize that I made a mistake, and then to see how I fixed the mistake, and then for those who don't care, like if I was watching, I'd probably be like, I don't care, well, how do you fix it, right? So then you can skip ahead to the fix. But, Everything guy kind of breezed through this whole series, and he was giving me some feedback on it, and it does create a couple of new issues for certain things, which I obviously didn't foresee. So, real time's arrived. I live. I live. I live. You live. But, anywho's. Okay, so let's go through. Okay, so I know one of the most common issues people were having was about rotation, actually. So, debug flags are legit. Awesome, that's what I want to hear. Obviously, they would create some more issues, but I'm hoping that the entire debug process makes you guys more comfortable at debugging your own games, right? So, the blueprint debugger, hopefully everybody's really familiar with that by now, because that will help solve a lot of problems in this project, right? So the big one was, yeah, rotation. Everybody was dealing with either rotation or something to do with the actual like feedback system. Okay, so Norman, I think is what his name was in the Discord here. He was having some issues with that. Yeah, and he's getting some access non-errors and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys are getting access non-errors, basically you just need to follow the trail here. So he was getting this, right? So it's saying access none, trying to read real property widget in uClass, right? So it's saying that we're not getting any data for the widget in this function, on this node, in this function, in this blueprint, right? So all you need to do for that is, go to your, we'll just X out of this, is open up wherever that error is. So that particular error was in the slot BG, I believe. Set slots filled. Set slots filled, get item rarity. Oh, that's in the, I haven't opened this project in a minute, so it's going to take me a minute to re-equate myself to it. That was in the grid widget. So let's open that up here. All right, so on the farthest most x-axis I could not rotate. I'm done. I'm not done yet, but maybe it's handled in the end of the series. Yeah, I did find more bugs in episode 11, actually. It's really funny because when I was recording the whole series, I recorded episode 11, and I'm like, okay, everything works, it's all good. And then I started recording episode 12, and I found more shit to fix in episode 11. I was like, God damn it. So I just basically started episode 12 doing that, and then cut that off and put it a part of episode 11. Episode 11 and episode 12 were really long, raw footage-wise. I think episode 12 was like 3 hours, so I had to cut all that down. I think it got down to about an hour or so. But anyways, okay, so yes, inside this we have the set slots filled. So it was saying in his particular instance that this widget had no data in it. So it was saying, like, what the hell? We're trying to set the widget, but there's no data in this widget function input. So obviously, I would have known that this function input has no data, which means the next logical step would be to go back and find wherever this node is being called, or this function's being called, and check the input of that. But, we talked it through, and he figured it out, obviously. But yeah, so that was inside of, Jesus, look at all these open. Let's close all these. Close other tabs, and then we'll just start over. Add item to grid. It was because he did not have... Where are you? Fill... Here we go. He didn't have this plugged in. Add widget to add. Okay, so make sure that's plugged in, obviously. I also found, with the development of Module 2, I found some other bugs that I didn't cover in any of the videos, so I will go over them here. So if you guys are watching after this is live, then, yeah, I'll do my best to try to cover these relatively earlier in the video, because some people don't want to sit through 3 hours of a live stream that already happened, so. But anyways, happy everything. I only got midway through 11 and had some bugs, and then life happened, so I never got to fix them. Oh, so you're not even done yet. That's too bad. Oh, well, you'll get back on it when you're ready, right? So, okay, the next bugs we had in here, that was just a question. I think he had a question regarding, he wanted to couple it with a save game. So yeah, that's somewhat unrelated for this, but yeah. This is for Lord Nutmeg, who's in chat. Welcome to the chat. 3 days ago, he said, ghost item getting created when drag drops. Let's have a look here. You did fix this, I think. Does it say solved? It doesn't say solved, so we'll see here. So set item data later on. Slot was empty. Oh, okay, so he didn't check off slot empty true inside of the event drag canceled. Okay, so that makes sense. So yeah, that's the unfortunate thing with this series too is, like, there's so many moving parts and there's so many functions. Like, Christ, look at the functions here, right? Just in this one alone, and then the component is even larger, right? So yeah, one thing to keep in mind is obviously, there's the drag and drop logic, especially after episode 7, is pretty complex. So we got the slot BGs handling all of the drop logic. So we'll go over here. We got the drop logic rates, drag and drop, on drop. So luckily we made it nice and clean with all of these couple of, functions within functions kind of thing. But yeah, so if any point that this fails, it should be triggering canceled, right? So we have successful drag, that's true, and then we have cancel the drag, which all it does is sets drag success to false and then cancels the drag drop, which then cancels the drag drop and then sends item dragging to false, which is what triggers all of our slots to go back to the way they were, right? The regular colors that they were. So yeah, so in that we need to make sure that in our item drag drop operation for the cancellation that we have all of this stuff here checked. I see this is checked false, but he checked it true. That's interesting. Let's see. Have a look here. So that was your fix, hey? Quick question for the Tarkov teams. Around episode 7 or so, when you test your items, my items spawn in, but my tank's UI is rotated, but not the grids. You know what? That's, yeah, I was saying earlier at the beginning of the stream, like, a lot of people are having issues with rotation specifically, so I will go over, like, basically what to make sure you look out for. So, I had that issue, I think, later in the series. In episode 11, I think we fixed that. I'm pretty positive that's because I didn't really have anything that rotated in the actual episodes, right? I just had basically square stuff. So I didn't really have anything in my inventory that could rotate until I think episode 11, and that's where I discovered that issue. So that does get fixed later down the line. So yeah, sorry, everything's a little like wacky because we're building a system that's pretty big, and then we're trying to make the episodes, you know, have a finished product at the end of it, so you guys have some sort of, you know, yay, I did something, right? So, but obviously bugs happen all the time. So, anyways, I'm just confused that this fixed your issue. Slot items or slot empty. Oh, does mine say slot filled? No, mine says slot empty. Which makes sense because it refills the old slots. It says right there. Huh. All right. Well, I mean, it works for you, but I don't know if that's going to cause issues later down the line. Oh, and then he also said, this happened to me like a ton of times in the series too, where I would name local variables the same as an input or an output, and it let me for some reason. And then it caused issues, and then it changed the local variable to be a function input instead of, right? So that screwed a bunch of things up. So yeah, just check your naming too. That will solve some issues. Okay, so see what else we got here. Tarkov help. And yeah, like I said, if you guys have issues and you want me to like see some screenshots and stuff and look at it on stream here, then put it inside of our Unreal Engine help forum in our Discord. So all right. I see that Lord Nutmeg is typing. Cool. Anyways, we got who posted this one? Tier? How do you say your name phonetically so I can not butcher the shit out of it? But he's our newest Sovereign member, so welcome. We will join the weirdness. That is the members chat. But Squeepsy, way to set me up for a joke I can't say on live stream. Yeah, real time's just got like a whole notebook of jokes he can't say on live stream. He just keeps writing them down. I'm sure you'll say them in the member chat at some point. But what did he even say? I disappear frequently due to work, house, kids sucking up my dev time. So Mark probably needs him time. Yeah, pretty much. That's how she goes, right? Fabin, I have an issue. Ladies don't like me, and I don't know how to write a BP to fix real life. Yeah, hopefully they come up with a plugin for that someday, and not charge an arm and a leg for it. Anyways, okay, so you were talking about drag indicators. Went back to not setting the color to the default grayish color. We talked about this back and forth. Yes. So yeah, okay, this was an issue regarding stuff not setting to empty. Or sorry, stuff not clearing. So in this case, this was in slot BG. So we have the item widget right here, right, for slot BG, and then this is where we set slot color and we clear the BG if we don't have anything on there or whatever the case is. So right here. So we have get item widget, right? If it's valid, it sets the rarity. If it's not valid, it sets it back to the default color. So the issue, I believe, for him was that this still had data in it, this item widget, when we cleared it. So when you are, was it set slots filled? We'll go back to that in here. set slots filled. You need to make sure that up here that it clears the item widget if the slot is empty. If it's empty, true, great, get the slot BG, clear that item widget so it has no data in it, so that when you run that particular logic, it doesn't set it to a color of something that's not there. So that was his thing. All right, tier. Okay, perfect. That's great. Ticking slots, empty to true created, more bugs, so I just ticked it to false. Copy that, David, so that's good. Warpup says, sorry, I see, one sec, I got a new thing here so I can see the chat in front of my camera. So anyways, Warpup said, how do I make the UI smaller for the pistol if I want to make it 1x2 like in Tarkov? Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. In Module 2, I'm like, this looks jank as shit, you know? So we'll just play it here. Yes, this is dumb. So, well, first off, the scale box is not really working that great, hey? And then the backpack one is just ginormous for no reason. So, yeah, we can fix that on stream today for sure. Sweet. So, yeah, we'll get through a couple of bugs here as well. And then, hello, that's me. Yeah, right? Yeah, so then we can fix that. The sorting function, if you guys haven't gotten that far, it works pretty effing good. I'm actually pretty happy with this. The only problem with the sort function is it's pretty not... I wouldn't ship a game with it, to be honest. I would actually write that in C++ because it's a little messy. But yeah, you put some random stuff in here, right? Whatever. And then you hit sort. Sorts it all. Super cool, right? So we have it sorting by size, so it'll find the biggest thing first and blah, 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 blah. So that's great. I had a bug... Okay, it doesn't work. In the, what's it called? Module 2, there's, like, new bugs that we fixed, and then now they're still there for some reason. I don't know. Adding multiplayer has been rough, to be honest, so... I can show you my progress after. It's pretty broken, though. But anyways, actually, no, I can't. Sorry, I need it for a video that I'm recording tonight for the... what the hell am I recording tonight? It's a debugging video, actually. So I'm just going to show you guys all the tools for debugging, including some new ones that I haven't shown in this series. We're going to look at the visual logger, widget reflector we did like once or twice, I think, in this series, and then obviously blueprint debugger and a couple of other things as well. So you guys get to see some new stuff on how to fix your games. All right, so back to this. Your function input, sorry, your local variables just changed to function inputs automatically. Well, that's wrong. That shouldn't be happening. Yeah. Put some, yeah, that shouldn't be happening. So I would make sure the naming's all like differently from the inputs, because, yeah, that happened to me once in the series, and I was so confused what was happening. I'm like, this should work. Oh, because blah, 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 same name, whatever the case was, right? All right. Okay, we only got 4 more here, so that's good. This is centered item within the inventory grid. Right. This, I believe, they were asking specifically about inside of, what's it called? Inside of Affinity, if they were doing something wrong in Affinity. And I don't think that was the case. I think the case was a pivot point. Let's see here. Check. Yeah, and he also had a missing item. So yeah, the blueprint debugger is just so useful for all that stuff, right, guys? So like, you know, you're gonna play an editor here. Number 1 for the blueprint for the blueprint debugger is do stuff. Did stuff even get made, right? So we can go to our item widgets. We have no items created yet. Well, because we haven't opened our UI. So now I'm gonna open my UI. There's my 5 widgets that just got created, right? So, you know, now we can exit that and then open this, and we can see that a bunch more were just created. So, yeah, see how many items that you actually put in there, whether that was 5, 6, 7, whatever, and then see if that's how many item widgets were spawned in. If not all the item widgets spawned in, then that's your problem. So your item widgets are not being created, and that's what you need to focus on. If the item widgets were created, then you can go in and you can check the item data. Does it have occupied coordinates? If it doesn't, that means that there's something failing within the logic for it to be setting all of these coordinates. Because remember, these get added pretty well at the end of the line of that logic when we actually add it to our inventory inside of our component. That's when these get set. So, yeah, that's an indicator. If the amount is 0, we created a override inside of the actual item widget itself to always override it if it's 0 to 1. So if that's the case, that means that you're not hitting that add item to inventory basically no graph, right? Something's failing within there and it's not going and setting the actual number to 1. So that's another indicator. Item unique ID, if that's 0, that's obviously inside of your component somewhere, which actually one of those things we need to fix, because I thought about it afterwards. I was like, shit, this isn't going to work. So let's fix that right now inside of our components. So we'll open up our components. So rates... Was it here or was it... Sorry, one sec. I'm trying to remember where this was. What does it say in here? Item IDs should be on event begin play for storage. Okay, it's in the storage class, pardon me. Well, I can just click on it and push Control E and we'll open that up. Right, sorry, never mind. That's the child class. I need the parent. Storage class. Alrighty. Yes! What do we got here? Oh, my thing's missing. And I'm missing what's going on here. Sorry, I missed it. I missed whatever that was, because my thing's, this is in the way here. Come on. There you go, okay. I should be able to see in my studio. Right sec. I'm just gonna put this there, put this over there so I can see stuff. And YouTube Live control panel. Here, let's just go to the goddamn page here. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure that I'm acknowledging whoever that was and what they did. Nice. So tier super chat at $5. I'm thinking about adding detail info on hover, like your XP. Definitely using this for a survival third person. Great series and great community. Thanks, tier. Appreciate that. So you're thinking about adding detailed info on hover. So I did this in a previous inventory series. It would be pretty similar. So all you would do for that in that regards, yeah, we'll deal with this in a second. That'll be in your slot BG. Actually, I take that back. That'll be in your item widgets. Right. So that's actually not that hard at all. So I would create a separate window, like an item info window. And when you open your inventory, I would create it, but have it have no data and be not visible. Then I would, there's a on mouse hover event in the event graph. I don't think we have it in here. So yeah, events, mouse, Jesus, I gotta move my keyboard over, I guess. Mouse hover. Is it mouse or on mouse enter? So you can do on mouse enter, or because if you do on mouse clicked, it'll trigger the on preview mouse button down, right? So probably on mouse enter would be your best bet. I mean, I could just make something super quick right now. We can just print string, right? Print string. Hello. I go into detail on this, by the way, in the debugging video that I'm going to be recording later today. But yeah, on mouse enter, we'll compile whatever. You know, hello, right? So it's on mouse enter that's going to work. So I would probably add a delay of some variety, maybe like a, you know, I would say 0.2 seconds, just so people can't spam the item window and it's just like looks all stupid. Or actually, what I would do instead of a delay is I'd make an animation for that item info window inside of the designer. So I would do the animation, and I would do one where it stays invisible for the first 0.5 seconds, just like set the data, get all that stuff correct, and then I'd fade it in, and then I'm just thinking, maybe like, I don't know if you just want it to change as you move items, or just it fades out as soon as you leave that item. I'm not sure. Well, however you want to design that. And then all you do is on this is you're going to get your item data, and then you're going to send it through an interface of some variety. So I would say in the HUD class is where you would create that item info window, and then you can get your HUD, right? I'm sure we got our HUD reference somewhere here. Oh, inside our... Hang on. It'll be either our parent grid or our key parent grid, depending on if it's a key item, right? But either way, each one of these should have a HUD class reference, right? So then you get your HUD class, call your interface, send the information over, done, right? So that's how I do it on that, just to get some more information on whatever stuff you're using. So cool. Anyways, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. I gotta go back to my chat and actually go down to the bottom there. Oh, if I went down to the bottom of my chat, I would have saw that goddamn... Jeez, I'm dumb. Okay, anyways. So, TG is susceptible to squirrels. Jeez, I couldn't read that. It's okay. That's cool. I will definitely check that video out. Yeah, it's like one of my earlier videos that I made like over a year ago, so I can't remember... my face isn't in it. I think I was like, I'm not going to show my face because I don't want people to know who I am, and now I don't give a shit. Well, I give a shit. No one knows my real name, but, you know, that kind of stuff. But, yeah. Okay, so next we have... You have a series of what you've done so far so I can watch from the start. Like this series, sorry, of, what's it called? Tarkov? So yeah, I'll answer that question for crazy here. Anyways, so yeah, I'll start for Tarkov. Yeah, so Tarkov is available for episode 1 through 7 for everybody who's not a member. Members have the access to the whole 12 episode module. So, yeah, the next time I will do a stream, I think is May 23rd or something like that. One of those types of dates. It'll be after the last episode comes out, so then we can kind of go over everything, right? So, but yeah, so if you're looking to join episode 1, we go over the basics. We set up all of our data assets, all this kind of stuff. We'll do our item data assets. I'll show you how to create your own items inside of Affinity. And then episode 2, we create our component that goes inside all of our item classes. Right here, this guy, storage, right? So we create that, and we set that up. Next one, we do the grid widget, so it'll be this, basically we create this. And episode 4, what the hell do we do there? We create our item widgets, then we do drag and drop the next episode, then we do the feedback system, then we do, episode 7 was the actual drop logic. So it's, yeah, 7 episodes until stuff is actually like functional enough where you can actually test some stuff, which is why we didn't do a lot of debugging until episode 7. But anyways, so what do we got here? We're inside a storage class. Okay, yes. Yeah, okay, so this has to be on event begin play. So if you guys have your projects open, this needs to be changed, okay? So we have it on event interact. By the way, in episode 12, sorry, was it episode 12 or episode 11? One of the two. We do this, so if you are watching, just make a note, make a comment, just say in episode 12, we do this, but we're changing this, okay? So, we'll get event begin play. The reason we're changing this is because the way it's scripted right now, every single time we interact with this storage, it's going to assign new item IDs to the items in there that we haven't interacted with yet. So we obviously don't want that. We want the item IDs to stay consistent throughout the entire level. So we're going to cut this specifically. By the way, that particular node was like a huge headache for me in episode 11 when I was recording it. I think I cut out a lot of stuff in there, but like that was the big old problem. So that was annoying for me. There's a funny moment in the video there I kept in. But anyway, so yeah, the item IDs will get assigned on event begin play. That way, we are keeping consistent item IDs. Okay? So yeah, just make a note here and we'll just say assigns IDs on level start, we'll say. For consistency. How do you spell consistency? Consistency? Sure, whatever. Okay, yeah, once again, just make sure you make a comment, because in episode 11, I will tell you to do it this way, and then yell at myself because I was a dum-dum and didn't do stuff the proper way, or whatever the case was. All right, so there we go. It's a different color. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. We can do that. How does that sort work? Are you on the episode yet, David? Because, and I'm going to delete that off of my, where are you? Whoops, not that one. This one. Assign item IDs. I'll just say done, but I'll probably have to mention that again in the new project. But anyways, I do have on here to fix the backpack, key slot, large box, small, all that stuff that somebody brought up earlier. So we can do that next. Let's maybe look at a couple more of these here first. Centered item. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? Let's talk about the rotation thing, because I'm like 100% guaranteed everybody's having that issue. Because once again, I didn't have that issue till later because I didn't have anything rotatable in my grid. So the big old fix for one of them for sure was inside of the item widgets. If you go to the designer, you go to your item. This is a terrible item example. Let's do the health pack, right? The health pack's like the only item I didn't actually use in the series, so I'm trying to use it more in module 2. But anyway, so we got the health pack. The pivot point, which is, where are you? There's pivot point here somewhere. Pivot right here. If this is on 0.5 for you, that's wrong. That is why it's probably not working very well. Make sure that is 0, 0, because that puts it at the very top left corner, and that's what we want. Because when we scripted inside of the grid widget, set item position, we offset this translation, right? Or we translated it to accommodate that pivot point is in the top left corner, okay? So if you wanted to screw around with this and keep it in the center, I mean, you can, but pretty much everything we've built in this grid system is based off the top left corner, right? So we got, this top left corner is basically 0, right? And then every single item that we place is going to, find out whatever the slots are or the coordinates that we have are, and then it's going to multiply it by 64 because that's the size of each individual slot. So now it knows how much to offset each individual item, right? That's how it's all working. So, yeah, that's important that that's done. Obviously, for these types of items, it's, it is what it is. Do I have anything in here? What do I have in here? Nothing that rotates? Of course not, right? Hey, let's change that. I'll explain the sorting in one sec. I didn't forget about your question either, so let's just get rid of this. And then we'll add one more, and it'll be the health pack. Health pack 1. Okay, perfect. Save, play, whatever. There's our health pack. So it looks like that's, yeah, I mean, that's working obviously fine for me because I'm done. I'm trying to think what else would cause the issues. You said that you placed it, but the actual cells that were taking up space aren't, like, right, so you'd have it here, but these two cells would be lit up as if that's the one that's being overlapped, if I recall, correct? Where can you download inventory? Where can you download this guy? Okay, I finished episode 7. You show this fix in episode 7. Okay, great. You're talking about this guy where where it shows the wrong squares? Because that has something to do with, just trying to think here. There was another bug somebody brought up, actually, and it had to do with, was it canceled? In this guy, in the item drag drop. No, it had to do with, in item widgets, when you start dragging the item. On drag detected, it was at the very end. Yes, at the very end here, for some of you, you might have a node here that sets the rotation back to, or whatever it is, it sets the rotation back to false, because the idea behind that was we didn't want the item to be rotated automatically when we're doing one of our bugs. Anyways, that caused some issues later, so I actually deleted that node. So if there's a node here that says like set rotation, set item rotation, or whatever the case is, to false, like just delete that right now. That might even solve most of your issues, to be honest. The pivot point one. Okay, so that's what's solved in episode 7. Got it. All right, so sort function. You want to know how that works? I can show you, but yeah, it's it's funny because episode 12 is sorting and stacking. Majority of that episode is the stacking, because that's actually quite complex. Funny enough, but and then the last like 20 minutes is the actual sort function. So that's inside our grid widget sort function. It's pretty gross. Like I said, I probably wouldn't ship a game with this. I would get this made in C++ instead. But anyways, so we start by getting all the items in the grid. We create 2 individual arrays. I tried to do a map, but you can't add or add unique or add or whatever the case is, right? So you can't just add individualized items if the keys are different. If they have the same key, which in this case I'm sorting by size. So if there's 2 items that are 2 by 2, then it's going to override the last item that was 2 by 2. So that wasn't going to work for me. Then we get the sort number. So we find out there are slots high and slots wide, right? We multiply that, and then we insert that into this array. And then we also insert whatever item that is into this array. Okay? Then we get all the items in this grid. We remove every single item from the grid, and then we clear this variable. Then there's a sort function for integers. We're going to do this. I'll obviously show you guys all this in episode 12 and go over it a little bit more in detail. But we'll get the sort number. We will sort this by, basically, I think we did, oh yeah, I made it a variable up here. You can do either ascending or descending. Then we're going to get our sort number. We're going to get our current size, and then we're going to find all the widgets that fit that size, and then find a place for them, and then add them to the grid, right? And then just going to go through all the entire array of items, and yeah, that's how this sort thing works. But yeah, a lot of work for that sort thing. Luckily, it's only happening when you hit the sort button, so it's not like happening every frame or something stupid, right? So, alrighty. So yeah, that's how it works. Let's see what else we got to fix. We got to fix. If you guys are watching, if you guys didn't try the rotation things and get them to work, let me know what else is happening, or you can put something in the Discord here and I'll see. Okay. And let's see here. Yeah, so this is all done. I'll get rid of this. Let's look at those item widgets, the key items. That's more of an episode 8 thing though. So we'll backburner that until we can get all the 1 to 7 stuff finished, and then we can work on that kind of stuff. So in the grid, what else we got? In slot BG. Oh, one thing that really pissed me off, which I realized after I recorded all the videos and was editing, I was like, God damn it, the solution was so obvious. So I was saying in one of the episodes, I'm like, I don't know why I can't see through my grid, because I set the transparency to 0.4 or whatever it was. And then I'm like, whatever, like, you know, and then I'm editing that, and I'm like, good God, I'm stupid. I put 2 borders in there. So if you go to slot BG and go to the designer, there's 2 borders in here. One of them is full, right? So not that one. It'll be probably this one. Oh, okay. I guess they just multiply together, maybe. So for the actual border, so what we can do is possibly... Oh, yeah, people were having some issues with this as well. I'll show you guys that in a sec, too. But anyways, let's draw as a border. And there, look, now we can see through it. Right? And then the outline border, we just got to make sure is that color, brush color. Does margin got to go up? I think I couldn't get this to work in the thing, which is why I abandoned it. Yeah. Brush color, desired scale, if we put that at 1. No, that doesn't do nothing either. Yeah, sometimes I can't get borders to work for some reason. We got the padding there, but there's nothing there. Visible, draw as a border, tint. Brush color. Maybe it is there. Like, if I change this color, does it? No, it doesn't do anything. Okay. How do we get this brush to show up? That's not what we want, obviously. No padding. This is exactly why I did the box. Just seeing if that did literally anything, and it didn't. So margin, brush color, desired scale. Why you don't show up anywhere? That does nothing. Is it because... What if I add padding because maybe it's being hidden by this, question mark? I don't know. We'll have to see here. Well, no, it has padding. Or is that this that has padding? Yeah, there's 0.5 padding here. What if I put like 1 here? There's... Once again, I gotta change the color. I just think it's blending in. Let's make this color ridiculous until I can see something. So that padding didn't work. Whew. Live chat. Okay, yeah, I was just making sure nobody else put anything in there. So what else we got here? Let's make this like ridiculous so I can see stuff. Nope. Okay. Border, why don't you show up? Is the alpha value 0? No. Is the render opacity 0? No, it's full. I'm gonna hide this border. Or hide this for now. Because as soon as I change this to box, it shows up, right? So I don't know what the hell's going on with this border. Oh, why don't we do it this way? Why don't we do rounded box? We'll do a fixed radius, and we'll keep it literally that, and then we'll make... where's the outline? Outline, we'll make this color, right? Full opacity. And the width will be like 5. Nope, let's make it 1. Sure. And then this brush color I'll make 0. There we go, buds. There we go, buds. Except this should be black. There we go. And then we'll unhide this. Cool. Cool. I don't know why border doesn't work. That makes no sense. Unless it has to be like filled or something. I don't know. But anyways. Now we'll check that out and see how that looks. Oh yeah, buds. Let's go. Cool. That looks good. Okay, the other issue people were having was in that same sort of idea. It was one of the early ones. Not that one. Yeah, we talked about the item ID, unique item ID already. Items not visible. So yeah, here's somebody that was looking. Who was this? Sorry, it was. Discord does this sometimes. It like doesn't show me their effing name. Super annoying. Anyways, yeah. So they were looking in their blueprint debugger. So yeah, once again, if you guys weren't using this beforehand, I'm happy that I was able to kind of give you guys some real world experience with using this and how it can solve some problems. So I think he was saying that his occupied coordinates are 0 or something. The amount is 0. Yeah, so he's saying the amount is 0, but there's also no coordinates. So somewhere down the line, the coordinates are failing, and it's not reaching that final add item to grid function that we made, right? So the item unique ID was being triggered, so that means that's fine. It's the actual inventory grid widget that was that the problem is happening in. So that's how you would solve that problem. Found the issue. Obviously, it wouldn't show the item if I didn't set it as found. Correct. That's cool. Yeah. You know what? I don't know how many little checkboxes I missed when I was making the series and recording it. So, you know, don't feel bad about that kind of stuff. I always feel dumb. I'm like, I'm fucking stupid, right? But it happens to everybody. All right. Depp says, thanks for doing these streams. Not always able to catch them live, but they're very helpful. Thanks, Depp. And yeah, I mean, hopefully we can get you on a couple of streams. So we, if you guys haven't didn't join the last stream we did, we are now making a community game. It's a brawler where, yeah, we basically you guys are gonna help shape this game. We're gonna make it live on stream. I won't be working on it at all outside of the streams, just so you guys can see everything that happens. Right? See me struggle. There's gonna be lots of things in there that I'm not familiar with, like AI, for example. So, yeah, that'll be fun for me, and I'll learn a bunch of stuff. You guys will learn a bunch of stuff. It'll be great. And then at the end of the thing, I think I'll just make it a free game. Everyone can just download it and play it. I'll give the, I don't know, probably the project files I'll probably give away for free too, just because it's a whole community game thing, right? So, all right. So, what was I looking for? I was looking for maybe somebody didn't put the tag on there. Oh yes, Tarkov helps. Let me just clear these. Because yeah, obviously people have other issues outside of these, right? So, but I'm sure that they maybe didn't hit the tag. No footsteps, sounds. Just looking for the screenshot that I remember. How to make... I can't see it in here. Essentially what was happening is somebody made like a gargantuanly huge... It might even happen to me if I do it live here. So let's make this storage inventory's slots like retarded, like 15 by 15. I think that was like how big his was, to be honest. So I'll hit play, and then I'm gonna see if it does the thing. Oh, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, what was happening was like some of the slots were like blending together. Like this, you didn't see any separation at all between all of these squares. They all just blended together, and it did that every, like, I think it was like 25 squares or something like that. But the fix for that was just to increase the actual padding, but it looks like the fix for that is to do the rounded box fix that we just did. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to switch this back before I forget. Cool. All right, so, Oof, if you could make the community game a multiplayer, that would be cool to have everyone on Discord playing it. I mean, shit, yeah. That would be pretty bloody cool, wouldn't it? Yeah. I'm still a little shaky on my multiplayer, to be honest. Like, I did the video on it, but that was all the basics, right? So, but I'm sure there's people in the chat that are good with multiplayer. They can tell me when I'm making a colossal error, whatever the case is, right? We could do that, sure. Multiplayer, yeah. And Squeeby says, that sounds kind of fun. When doing multiplayer testing, it would be fun to all jump in live. Yeah, right? That would be interesting how that would all work. How can you all remotely join in if I'm playing an editor or something like that? Interesting. But that would be fun live. We could yeah, we could host an event or something where, like, you know, if it's a 4-player multiplayer brawler thing, right? Where you know, we can have a bunch of different people play testing the game, and then we can kind of react to their streams doing it or something like that. That'd be a fun little community day, hey? So, anyways, did you ever use Gas Companion plugin and made a video about it? No, no, I have not made a video about anything to do with gas. Ali Elizo made one. Like, I can't top that. That video is that series is top tier for gas. So, like, there's nothing I can do that's going to be remotely even better than that one. So, yeah, I would just recommend watching his stuff if you're curious about gas. Gas is really awesome. I'm using it for my game, obviously, because it's basically a RPG. So, with element-based powers. So, you know, that's really great for me. I'm getting lots of good results using it. But yeah, definitely keep in mind that it's not for every type of game. So it's, you know, there's a lot of setup involved. So yeah, obviously think about what you need in your game. If your game's not that big, I don't think gas is really worth it. If it's like a platformer, it's really not worth it to use gas, right? So Squeeb, I don't think we'd be able to jump in while editing, but we could start the stream off with a small initial play test, then do bug testing and development after. Yeah, 100%. That actually would be a really good start to the stream, 100%. So yeah, we have a standalone game. You know, it'll probably be on Steam of some variety or some sort of clients where we could all jump in and join the game together. And then, yeah, we can play the game for the first 20 minutes and then record what bugs we see and all that kind of stuff. And then that same stream, we can fix those bugs or look into them, right? So that would be a cool thing for sure. David, you have a bug. Copy that. What do you got? Let's have a look. Have you, Happy Everything Guy says, have I ever played Stick Arena? That, but like 3D. So what I was, you know, I mean, don't want to get too far off topic because it's supposed to be the Tarkov debug video, but yeah, what we could do there is, I honestly think that it should be like a tiered system because somebody wanted to do something with level partitioning just to like have it, right? So, yeah, so I think what we can do is maybe we could like go to like a fortress or something, but we start further back and we got to go and work through grunts or whatever the case is, right? Something like that. But yeah, world partitioning, I think we'll just do like a 2x2 square, nothing crazy, right? We don't want to make the game super massive because it'll never get done. So sold by Ames with a Z. Ryan Lally is what I'm seeing. That says Cowie, Visual Effects, Ali, Alizo, Smart Poly, Unreal, and Unreal University, Halbot, and you are the best channels because y'all teach healthy habits unlike everyone else that only teach bad habits. Keep it up. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'm so glad that you didn't put in what's his name. Everyone in my community knows who I'm talking about. I don't want to say it on stream, but should I make a new post or show the post I've already made? Okay, sorry. Is it in the Discord already? Let's have a look. Someone didn't put anything in here, did they? No, okay. Ghost item when drag dropped. Okay, copy. He was just correcting himself there. So sorry, that was David who's... Oh, yeah, sorry. That was... David, you're Nutmeg, right? So... Ghost item getting created. So this is the one? No, this is the one you fixed. Just looking for your name here. Can I just search your name? Is it Nutmeg? Nutmeg? Jeez. What an awful thing to search. Anyways. Lord Nutmeg of many answers. Yeah, I don't see your name again. Unless it was at the very beginning. Yeah, maybe post it again. Oh, he said wait a sec. Okay, copy. Where are we? Is Gasp an ability system or an animation system? Because I've seen both. Yeah, Gasp is the gameplay... sorry, the game animation sample project. That's what it stands for. I want to fool around with that because, God, those animations look so good compared to the ones I have in my game right now. It's just like... It looks like a basic PC game where you're, like, walking and then you, like, turn all 8 directions, right? So, new mention, I'll read that later. But, okay, yeah, so I'll just wait for this to populate here. But in the meantime here, what else we got to fix here? Okay, so it looks like in slot BG, there was a... Oh, you know what? I'll show you guys another fix that happens later in the series, too. Just so that you can get ahead of the game here. Inside of slot BG graph. Okay, so this needs to be deleted and this needs to be replaced with onConstruct because on initialized is when the actual widget itself is initialized. On construct fires multiple times. On initialize fires once. Okay, so what was happening was on initialize was firing and it was binding to this event, and then we would close our inventory, and then event destruct was firing and unbinding all of these events, and then it wasn't rebinding to them again. So we need to have event construct here so that every time we open our inventory and that slot BG is added to the viewport, that event construct is firing and rebinding to these events. Okay, and then I have another note here saying we need to move the clear parent grid variable to destroy oneself. So that would be rates here. Why would that matter? I think this is a tested thing, so that's probably why I said to do this, but this moves up here. But I don't know why that matters, because you would remove from parent, which is an event call, which, oh, you know what? It's because this fires later, I think. Maybe, I don't know. So we're going to call remove from parent. It's going to automatically flag it for deletion, and then it should fire this event, but then it's also going to clear the parent grid. Interesting. So it should, yeah, because parent grid's right here, so we're checking if it's valid. If it's not valid, then we're going to skip unbinding this event and all that kind of stuff. There was I did a huge, massive cleanup of stuff in Module 2 so far, because a lot of widgets were remaining. I show this off in episode 11 as well, but let's see if it does it now. So we'll open up the Blueprint debugger, and we'll go to, item widgets. I'll create these items. I'll close this. And, oh shit, I didn't want to stop. Just wanted to close it. Then I'll open it again. Okay, it created new items. So these old items should get cleaned up. And if they don't, then that's, I think, what I focused on in Module 2. Just kind of optimizing that. Because obviously that's not good. If you're going to go into the world and interact with all your different things, then you're going to have a million item widget, right? Taking up memory. So they're not getting cleaned up. So if we look at this, are these the new ones? No, these aren't the new ones. Or are they? Item 8, are these the old ones? So it looks like, okay, so some data is not getting cleaned up, so I just open up both variants of this. Oh, okay, they got cleaned up. Good. Never mind. I disregard. So obviously it's all good in that regard. But I think it was like the multiplayer bit. Once I started adding other players and adding other events and stuff, like just stuff wasn't getting cleaned up and deleted. So I went through that and made sure like all of that stuff was all good getting cleaned up. So yeah, we'll do that in Module 2. Okay, so Nick says, oh yeah, he was just referring to the Gasp's gameplay animation sample project. Okay, you posted it. Copy that. Okay, we have a new guy. Can I say your name? It's so far away, I can hardly read it. I don't know how to say your first name without, but it says Haven, so I'll call you Haven if that's okay. Hey Grace, I've heard something about HUD elements can just be set to collapsed when it's not in use and back to visible when needed again. Wouldn't it be better to do this with this inventory too? Yeah, that's called lazy widget creation. That is a valid thing to do, especially if it's like generally normal inventories would do very well with that, especially like the player one. Like you open your inventory and you got a bunch of stuff in there, and that doesn't change that often other than if you open it, right click, use it, whatever the case is. I believe I do that in my first inventory series, but in terms of this one, there's so many slot BGs that I was running into issues prepping this project where like you would close it with lazy widget creation and then you would reopen it and nothing was working anymore. None of the feedback was working, blah blah blah. That's because the items that we needed to unbind were unbinded on event destruct, so we weren't able to rebind them because blah blah blah, right? So it just created a bunch of extra issues. Unreal Engine's fine with obviously creating or managing garbage just like this, like all half of these are going to get cleaned up, right? With the garbage collection system. That's all this is, right? So there's benefits to doing lazy widget creation. But I don't think this system would work very well with that, honestly. Right? So, yeah. Yeah, see, they just got cleaned up. So, yeah, Unreal Engine there's no set time, but every, 20, 30, 40 seconds, it'll run garbage collection and clean up stuff that's not, being referenced anymore or whatever the case is. So, yeah. Oh, Squeebs, you're going to be joining as Noble. Awesome, man. Appreciate that. Let's go to the soundboard here. Jeez. I don't even have anything to celebrate you joining as Noble, but we'll just do this one. Whoa! Right? So, yeah, appreciate that. Everything helps. So, what? Wife approved. Sounds good, yeah. My, quote unquote wife, she's not my wife, but she might as well be because she's a keeper. But anyways, yeah, she's been helping me out with the website and all that kind of stuff. She built the website from scratch and has never built a website before, so I'm super impressed with how it turned out, honestly. Yeah, so congrats to her. But anyways, Haven is fine. Thanks for the good answer. Yeah, no worries, man. So we got sold by. I also noticed that you are in Hellbot's server, which is my really good friend. I am? Sorry. Let me look. I'm not in very many servers, to be honest. Where's my mouse? Okay, there it is. What am I got here? I got Polyart because I bought a bunch of their assets. The Indie Alleys. I honest to God don't know who that is. ZOF. Oh, I think, yeah, I talked with this guy. I think this is his server. But yeah, I talked with this guy quite a bit about interfaces and stuff. Yeah, Aura, obviously, and then I'm in Alazos. This is Delta Force. I played that for a while, and then I stopped. Three-Peat. So I'm not a really good animator, but Three-Peat Games has, like, a super phenomenal tutorial. It's a 2-hour tutorial on like basics of animation. Really, really good. I actually recommend checking that out if you want to learn more about animation and not learn from a freaking idiot like me. So, so anyways, obviously mine, and then Unreal Engine, and then these two are friends of mine. So, which one is his? Halbots. Me and Halbot work on a project with this YouTuber, and he has 40 million subs, although he is asking for a lot, but I can't complain because the pay is extremely good. Oh shit, nice. All right, Nick says, oh, we already answered those. And these are all obviously all old. Sorry, I'm just still trying to get used to my teleprompter thing here. Real time. I built a website once in the 90s. Yeah. Back in my day. No, just kidding. Not to tease art real time. But yeah, Squeebs, yeah, so on the website you can get access to the rest of the series of Tarkov, so you can get all finished up there. So I'm going to be super real with you guys right now. I was extremely burnt out after making this series because it took literally 3 straight weeks of working basically 13 hours a day to get this ready. So that was like prepping the finish prepping the project, planning out the videos, getting all my notes together, recording the videos I did all my videos recording in 2 days. It was 2 like 13-hour days of recording. It was fricked. And then obviously editing took like a week and a half. And then at the same time, my Azura, my girlfriend, was working on the website. So she was basically doing 13, 14-hour days for 3 weeks straight working on the website to get this all ready. So yeah, both of us were super burnt out, so I've been taking it easy. I haven't made too many extra videos. I made a couple, like the save game video and stuff like that, obviously. So, I've made a couple, and then I'm going to do another one today. But yeah, I've been super burnt out, so I haven't really started working on Module 2 that much. One thing I did do is I added a enemy. So we have an enemy standing here, and you can walk up to him, and then you basically open it, and it opens up a second one of these. Right, so instead of this inventory, it's the actual, like, their player thing. So we worked on that already. Multiplayer is like 80% of the way there. I have, I can show you guys if you want what I have, but like I said, it's super broken. So, and I don't want to change too much in there because I'm going to use it tonight for my video for debugging. So, but anyways, you watch yourself, whippersnapper. You want to get cake and custard. Azura and I have a running joke because I work at 911 dispatch for ambulance, and I trained Azura, which is how we met. So, anyways, it's amazing because, like, you know that meme, the old lady meme where she's like, "What?" Right? Like that one. It's actually shocking how often old people actually say that, and they say it just like that too. But Azura had never seen that meme before somehow, but yeah, she was doing a call, and this old man was just like, "What? What?" Like the whole call, and I'm just like chuckling to myself. And then she finished up the call, and she's like, "Why are you laughing?" And I just like, "What?" And then she didn't understand, so I showed her the meme, and it's just that old lady, "What?" So we do that all the time now. We'll say something, and if we don't hear each other, we're just like, "What?" Anyways, okay, so here's what we got broken and whatever the frick, right? So we got, oh, the Vizsla, I gotta disable that for my video, so it's a good thing I double checked that. Anyways, so yeah, we got 2 players, we got the clients, the whatever, so this is updating for the clients, this is here for the server, and did I hit escape? Oh, I hit the tilde key, whoops. We don't want that. Go away, please. Thank you. Yeah, and then you come up to the enemy, interact with them. There's this thing, but yeah, you can see there's some issues that haven't been worked out yet. So, yeah, so that's what I have so far. The other thing I needed to work on here, yeah, you can see all the errors. One of those is a very specific error that I'm saving for the video. So, anyways, I interact with this. Here. I guess I got to do it on the client here. But yeah, you can see that, you know, I'm moving this to my inventory. That disappears, but those don't update. So shit like that I got to fix still, right? So this is what I currently have. Flick, whoa, never caught the live stream. Great videos. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm starting to kind of like try new stuff in my videos. Like I really liked the save game video. I thought that turned out really good. I really like the progression thing, because I'm looking to kind of hopefully increase my watch time because it's usually pretty low. Usually it's like 4 or 5 minutes, and my videos are 30, 45, 50 minutes long, right? So if I want to get more views, I need to increase my retention. So trying to find creative ways to do that. Anyways, so yeah, that's what we're doing here this is what the Module 2 is currently. Module 2 is like, it's quite a bit of work, to be honest. Converting this to multiplayer. So the first couple videos will be just basically us dealing with this, getting this all set up. Probably fixing a couple of other things that I'm showing in the stream just so people who didn't watch the stream get that as well. Then yeah, converting to multiplayer, obviously player states. Come on. Player state, we need to obviously, you know, get server stuff going, get our PC calls, get our on reps set up, right, all that kind of stuff. So it's quite a bit of work to set this up, but once we have multiplayer, that'll be great. Then we'll move on to Module 3, which will be what's it called, we're going to create a hub world, and we're going to create a stash that saves or whatever. So we'll create our save game logic, which will be basically using the same similar things that are in that save game video. Then we'll create the ability to create our loadouts, right? And then we save our loadout and then load into a new level, and that's going to be it. And then I did have crafting planned, because that is a pretty key component of Tarkov, and it is a inventory-related thing. So I'll probably do that too. I don't know if I should do that in there's Module 3 or not. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But and then 4, we're going to be working on randomizing our items, right? So we're going to randomize our items in our level. We're going to load in. We're going to have like 5 different crates or 5 different storage type objects. We can set them as one's a fridge, so it only has food items and all this other kind of shit. And then we're going to have basically a pool, and all of we're going to have the storage class. I'm just trying to think how to do that, actually. Probably what we'll do is in the storage class parent is we'll put the pool of objects that we want to spawn in, and we'll pull that from the game instance or whatever the case is, or from a data table. What level is this? What items are available? Okay, cool. Then it'll populate the parent with all of the items, and then as children load in, they're gonna load in X amount of items, remove those from the thing, and blah blah blah. That's probably how we'll do it. We'll just have basically a manager, which is gonna be the parent, do all of that kind of stuff. Is how I think we'll do it. Anyways, okay, so I like that video style and the game instance, game mode, player state ones too. This style is also really good. Cool, man. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I really like the debug flags specifically for series because, you know, here's the thing. I'm aware, like 95% of you guys watching this series and any of my other series are not making this exactly how I've made it. You guys are taking what I'm saying and then you're trying to apply it to how your game is. That is just how people do tutorials. That's how I do tutorials, for sure. I'll be like, okay, you know, I'll follow like the gas system when I was following it for Ali Alazo's gas system. He's like, oh, we're gonna make a dash thing. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do a dodge, like, because that's what I have in my game, right? So my thing was slightly different, and then of course I ran into issues because I wasn't following his thing exactly, right? So that's just how it works. I understand that. So, but you know, all I can do is teach you guys how to debug and fix your projects, and then you can, you know, work on that on your own, and if you have issues you can actually fix them. All right, David, so my issues is items are like stacking on top of each other when I drag the item into a corner. Copy that. So what that means is I will switch back to the other project because like I said, I don't want to screw with this one. Tarkov inventory series, this one, I guess. Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, when I did the gas thing, I made the double jump and point and click with WASD instead of following the generic controller. Lots of issues, but I learned how to fix them. Yeah, exactly. That's you just do it, right? You do it and you figure out what's going on, and then after 6 hours, you worked on one issue and you finally fix it. You know, feels good, but at the same time, I sometimes I get frustrated if I spend if I only have one day to work on a project and I spend 6 hours of it debugging one issue. Like I get a little frustrated, but you know, it's part of game development, right? Your debugging is golden and helps people see how to actually debug in different ways. Yeah, and I talked through my process, right? Hashtag game dev, yeah, right? Yeah, I talked through my process. I really like breakpoints. It's probably a little bit slower than some of the other ways, but I really like it because it's just good to talk through your code, right? So, sorry, whose issue? That was David said items stacking on top of each other. Okay, so where is our UI? It'll be in the grid. Where is that? Here it is. Graph. That would be in regards to... Actually, you know what? That might be in the drop logic instead. You said... Oh, you sent a vid. Okay, we'll check it out. Items are on top of each other. Okay, here we go. Let's check it out. Then do bug testing and development after. Yeah, 100%. That actually yes, really good, yes, that start to the stream, 100%. Yes, so, yeah, that gets fixed in a later episode. What's happening right there? What's happening right there is you're dragging the item onto a spot that is available, and then it's checking if this item will fit in these squares, which it technically can because right. But what we need to add in later is we need to check if all of these squares are available. So right now it's because if you hover it over this square, it's not going to let you do it, right? Because it's going to say, oh, this square is not available, something is in it. But if you hold it over this square, this item is available. It's going to pass all of the checks how you have it currently scripted, and then it's going to place it over top just like it has right here, right? So, some sort of clients where we could all jump in and I can't hear you join the game. See, we get to hear what David sounds like. Let's go. Good start to the stream, 100%. So yeah, we have a standalone. Oh, it's me talking. So good. Anyways, that's funny. Anyways, so yeah, that's. I'm trying to remember how we fix that. That'll be in. Let's get out of that. Yeah, 100%. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. I want to minimize this and go into the drop logic, I believe, but most of the drop logic's in here. We'll just follow the line. Slot BG, drag and drop, on drop. So yeah, I like to talk through the code because then it makes sense in my brain what's happening. And then I can see the issue immediately. Like, okay, so this is a key item. That's true. Oh shit, we cancel. You know what I mean? So you can see what's happening. And then also with the breakpoint too, because you have to go one node at a time, you can say, okay, the next expected result that I'm going to get is that we can place the item. And then you get over here, you go in there, and then you can't place the item. You're like, okay, well, this is the node that's the issue, right? So that's why I just slowly like to kind of methodically go through it and talk through the issue, right? Anyways, can we place the drag item? It'll be in here probably. Query item placement, for sure. This is where it'll be. What did we add in here to fix this? Check slots availability is probably actually... Yes. Check hovers item, checks the same item ID, same blah, 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 and then return fail. Found slots. Where did we... I swear I remember doing something where we check if the occupied coordinates are empty. So we get the target coordinates, which will be all those. Let's add a breakpoint here. Actually, let's just go through. Mine works obviously, but let's just do a little debuggage here. And sorry, I gotta create this. Oh, okay, look. It's triggering already. Okay, so they must have fixed this because I didn't select a object, yet it's still triggered. So I wonder if they fixed that in a recent update. Interesting. Anyways, so what are our target coordinates? Those ones, right? So we're checking, is there a slot BG, which there would be, right? Is it empty? Oh, right. Is it empty? This will be true, so it'll skip this. But if we did, it'll find item by coordinate. Then it will... Oh, yeah, but take a screenshot of this right now. Because I can't remember what episode we make this in. This is in... we fix this. I think I said in one episode, like, oh, we're going to fix this later. Or some I can't remember what the hell I said, but... This is the final thing. Hover, right? So take a picture of that right now with your Windows Shift S. Save that. That caused a lot of effing issues in the stack video, like in episode 12, like a shit ton of issues. So this is the final thing. This is what it should look like. We had issues where like this was after this, so it was failing here. We had infinite loops happening. Like it was just nonsense. So, yeah, there you go. Let's see. My AI needs debugging. Help me, Taken Senpai. Taken Senpai. Yeah, right. Wadi. My bad. I recorded TG's voice. Yeah, that's funny. It's following the episode. I see you move back the branch. Yes. So first we need to check, have we found anything at all? And if we didn't find anything, we don't do nothing. We go back. And keep going. And then if we do find something, we check if it's the same ID. So if this is the first pass, if the same ID is 0, that means this is a local variable and it's back to its default of 0. There's no item in the game that has the item ID of 0, right? So if this is true, that means this is the first pass, and we're going to set what the hovering item is, set that we have a local item, hover item that exists, and then set its ID. Okay? On every other pass after that, this is going to be false. Then we're checking if the item unique ID is the same item as the drag item, and we're seeing if it doesn't equal this, like the same item. So is this two separate items? Essentially, is what this is. I also had this as an and. That broke shit so hard. So get rid of the and node, put the or node in there right now. It'll make it so much easier. Okay, so I mean, if you guys want to do this now, go ahead. It'll save you some time later, because we've already created this function, check slots availability, but we just kind of refine it later. And then after that, if that's true, then we're going to exit as a failure. Okay, we don't want to have the same item ID, because that means it's the same item that we're dragging the same item that we're hovering over, right? Because remember, we hide the item in the grid, and then we have the ghost item that we're dragging around, and then once we actually place it, it moves that item and unhides it. So we don't want that, and then we don't want the ignore item ID, which is the item that we're dragging, and then this is the item that we're hovering over. So we want to make sure that it's the same item that we're hovering over, not two separate items. Right? Okay, so that's that. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. But where would that be? Same item ID. Is this... Let's get rid of this branch for now. Or this breakpoint, sorry. I want to test something. Because mine, I don't think, does that anymore. Yeah, mine doesn't let me do that. Where did I put that scripting? Right, because I can't do this. It won't let me, right? Because that's your issue, right? I think the issue is the item query item placement. Copy. Let's have a look. Check slots availability. So this basically only returns that we can place it or not. So if we can't place it... I see. Is this where we... Placement possible... I see. Is this where it is? Slots empty or hovering an item or two. So yeah, this checks if the slots are empty or if we're hovering an item, and then if we are hovering in two different items, then the placement possible is false, and then it comes down here and does item in bounds. Try vertical. Oh yeah, then we try vertical, blah, 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 and then if that fails, then we can't place it. Okay, so... This is the fix, David, for yours. So we come out of there. Can we place it? We can place it, because remember, we are querying that one single cell that is available, and we can place it there, so it's going to return true that we can place it, and we have a hover item available. Then we're going to check if our out coordinates for, which is a local variable right here, that we set... Right, here's our target coordinates for the item that where we want to place it. We're going to check if those coordinates equal the hover item's coordinates, because if those don't equal, that means it's not completely overlapping that item, meaning we cannot place it. Okay, so this is your fix right here. Hopefully that makes sense. Squeeb said, sorry for the off topic. Is there in the future, is there a function on the site to upgrade current subscription? Yes. There is. I have to do it manually right now. Yeah, like I said, you know, Azura's taking a bit of a break because she got super burnt out from that website. Same with me, right? So she's taking a bit of a break. Yes, there will be something automatically in place that will, if you upgrade your membership, then it'll automatically basically refund you the difference if it's within the same month. Plus or minus like 5 days from the end of the month, then it probably won't. Yeah, so if you upgrade your membership, then I'll see that it's somebody who's already a member, and then I'll refund you the previous month. I've done that for a couple people already. So yeah, if you guys don't know about memberships and you're watching, I'll show them off right meow. Actually, I'll just go to the website. Why not? Why not? Go here. I'll drag this over here, and then we'll go to takengrace.com. The place to be. Just kidding. I also started doing... I did this first with the save game video. Is this me right now? So funny. Anyways, I did this with the save game video. I'm going to start making kind of companion posts on here so you guys can go and follow along in like note form. And with maybe with a couple images, we'll see. But just because I'm sure that's helpful for people if they're watching the video and I don't maybe explain something super well or whatever the case is, then I'll have another post on here that you guys can kind of go through and read. But anyways, here's the memberships. You know, lots of great stuff here. I haven't done too many giveaways in a bit, so I will need to ramp that up so that I can give all you guys some stuff to go for here. After parties I haven't done in a while either, but yes, you know, I apologize for that. That's just basically the burnout thing, right? So voting on future videos, we'll look at that in one sec here, actually. So monthly one-on-ones, that's kind of the big seller for the Royal and Sovereigns. If you guys are interested in checking that out, you get 30 minutes is like enough to review something super quick, or if you want some advice on, I just did one with, I can't say his name properly. It starts with an A. But anyways, I did one with him super quick last week, and he just wanted to basically go over his GDD and kind of plan out what to do in his game and all that kind of stuff. So that was a quick 30-minute one. Eddie loves the 60-minute one. He buys extras every month. But yeah, he loves chatting with me, going over code in his game, all that kind of stuff. Sovereigns also get a project audit. So if you guys want to send me your project, I'll look it over. I'll give you some like really good feedback and criticism on things that I think are working really well and things that you may want to look at potentially changing. And then yeah, game jam. So I'm going to start figuring that out soon, but probably in June sometime we'll be doing like a game jam. Whether that's going to be us participating in one or we'll probably maybe even do our own. We'll see if we have enough people participating. So, anyways, yeah. So that's memberships. If you guys want to join that, head over to the website and check those out. But let's go to. I gotta hide this because I think I gotta log in. Accounts. Oh no, I don't have to log in. Vault of Grace. Here we go. Okay. So, here's the thing, video voting. What won this week or this show results? So, a lot of people want the child actor versus actor components. Okay. And then they want how many votes do we have? Okay, we got a couple here. So this is available to nobles and up. So if you guys are watching and you are nobles, head over there and you can vote on what videos you want to see. I'm doing this one regardless. Stop, the UE5 Profiler Masterclass. So that's going to happen regardless because there's not a whole lot of tutorials out there on how to use the profiler and how that can help you figure out what's wrong with your game. So yeah, I'll be doing that. This one I was gonna do, and then literally Ali dropped a video that like covers all of these things. I was like, ah, shit. So members want this, but yeah, I might wait a little bit on that just until after Ali's video kind of circulates a little bit, and then I can go out and do one. But anyways, component-based architecture, that'll just be a component thing. This one, kind of want to keep that series going that you've learned XYZ wrong, because those videos do very well. You get people that are experienced in Unreal Engine come in and usually say that I'm wrong and blah blah blah, whatever the case is, right? Okay. Yay, my bug is finished. Woohoo. Nice, man. I'm always down for jams. Same. Strawberry, raspberry, or blueberry. Real time with slapping the dad joke in here. So, anyways. All right, so that's fix. Anybody else have any other issues that you want to work on in this series? And then if not, then I can move on to stuff that is going to be where is it? Stuff that was episode 8 and beyond for anybody following that. Oh, here's one. Item wasn't plugged in to find in place in try swap key item. Copy. Let's check that. Is that in... Oh, that'll be in key item, I'm assuming. So this is an episode... Well, we create the key item slot... Sorry, we create the key item slot in episode 8, but I don't think we did get to this until later. Episode 10 or something like that. 9 or 10, one of the two. Try swap key item. It says... item wasn't plugged in to find and place in try swap key item. That will be right here. Oh, look at that. Look at that, everybody. That's a error right there. So that would be key can't fit in original spot, but can it still fit? So that would be the drag item, which will be here. Drag item. Waits. Try swap key item. So we come in here. I'm sorry, this is the hover item, actually. Let's do, sorry, key item. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah, so I was just trying to, because remember we have the drag script for the slot BGs, and then this is the key items specific stuff. So yeah, make sure that's plugged in. That's obviously a freaking huge oversight on my part. I voted for the stop bloat video. Nice, man. Waiting on wife approval. Yeah, money's tight, man, so I understand if you gotta make sure everyone's all good. Mike Mike Sin Miami, nice name. Love the series so far. I've been working on survival horror demo. Will you be working on item combination in this series? Yes, we do have item combination. That'll be in episode number 12, which is a doozy. But yeah, we have this, so we drag drop, all that kind of stuff. That was super annoying to make, by the way. Super annoying. I was super annoyed by that whole experience. Anyways, I have it so yeah, you can't drag obviously stacks of 60 on top of each other. You can still swap 60s and whatever the case is. What do I have here? If it's okay, so you can still swap those two, and then this sends it back to the old grid. Oh no, it doesn't. It straight swaps it. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, whatever. That shouldn't be too hard to fix if you wanted to add a restriction on that. If it's a max stack, like why would you swap it back for a lower stack? But anyways, yeah, so that's how that all works. In the actual inventory, but not the actual logic. Logic is like super complex. I'm not even going to get into it. Just watch episode 12. Anyways. Basically signing a death warrant as what I vote on never wins. Oh, that's is that true? I don't know if that's true. No TG, he means red herb plus green herb equals mixed herb, yeah. So, yeah, Mike's in Miami. I'm glad you like the series. I appreciate the compliment there. The series is not doing as great as I was hoping, but I mean, you know, Azur and a couple of the other Sovereign members were kind of reminding me that a lot of people wait till the series is done to do it, which is fair. I mean, I think I did that with the gas series that Ali Alzo released. So, you know what? I kind of want to do a podcast with him, or you know what I mean? Like him and Ryan Lally, like the three of us. That'd be such a good podcast. But I haven't reached out to them or anything like that. But that'd be super fun to do. Yeah, Ali Alzo, I think, like, I would even argue that he's better than me in terms of Unreal Engine content. It's just, like, it's so well done. And I like how he adds the polish in his videos so that stuff actually looks good and you're not just looking at, you know, this, this thing, right? I mean, this is a tutorial series, so we're starting from this, but, you know, so that's why I try to use the other projects that I have to, what's it called? You know, to have something nice to look at. And some real world examples and stuff, right? So, let's see. It's not doing so well because people have no attention spans. Back in my day, you'd get your ass whooped until you finished. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I know that's a downfall with some of my videos as well. Since I take the time to actually like explain what's happening and the theory and all that kind of stuff, it's a little bit too long for some people to keep, you know, up with it. So, you know, yeah. If you guys have any feedback for me for my videos, I know you guys said the videos are great stuff. That's awesome. You know, I do like feedback as well because obviously you guys are the end user, right? So you want to make sure that I'm creating the best things for you guys. But all right, so all right, let's move on to. I didn't see anything else that people are having issues with. So what's another fix here? So yeah, the backpack slots in the keys. Yeah, okay. So we're fixing this garbage, right? This is not fitting in the thing. This is not centered. None of these are centered, which is fine. But yeah, this is like just huge for no reason. So let's open up our, whoops. Let's open up our key item slot because this will be the fix for probably all of that, to be honest. I had to do this because I had to do this because of the actual, what's it called, the rifle. Like I had to make this wider, but key item scale box, ghost. Why can't I do this? Oh, I see. Okay, but yeah, why can't I do this? Right, and then this is. If I set it to fill, that's going to break stuff because it's going to stretch everything out, right? Because I'm going to compile and this is going to look super jank now. Oh, it looks totally normal. Okay, that fixed all that. So never mind. But it's gonna look jank when I do this, right? Yeah, it has no. Okay, it has. Yeah, I gotta fix that too, obviously, because I'm setting the ghost image as visible. So what's happening there? The key item slot is new territory for me. Yeah, like I said, we make this in the next video. We design it, and I think we start. We work in the event graph for majority of it. So, ghost image right here, set as hidden if it's empty. That should be. That's incorrect, isn't it? Oh, it's not empty. Then we hide it. Yes. Okay. Copy that. Then set visibility if it is empty to be ghost image is that, and we tell it to be not hit testable self only. So that should work. Interesting. Does this event get called? That's my next question. Because this is what... well, it obviously got called before. Because if I go back to the designer and then I go to ghost image and I put it back into here, it's going to work again, I suspect. Okay, that worked. Access not turned to real property, original grid. Interesting. Now we're getting new errors, everybody. Live debugging. Anyways, so that works. Maybe we don't mess with that then. What does it look like when I... shit, okay, I'll move this out of the way, and then I can move this out of there. There's a bit of a extra visual thing there, but that looks fine. I still don't like that I had to make it extra wide just because of this weapon. We should all honestly make it, like, get the width of the weapon. Well, they should almost all be the same size, actually. Like, they should be like the same size as the tactical vest. But at the same time, then the weapon would look super small, and you'd want almost one that's a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? So let's check that. Let's check that. So let's see what we can do about that. David, one question. Is the Tarkov episode 8 going to release next week or after the stream? It's going to release next week. This is kind of 7.5, right? We're just kind of fixing issues that everybody was having just to make sure everybody's all caught up, right? So... I thought you were, as you're a minister and all. Who's saying that? Sorry, one sec. I missed some stuff here. Mike said, your explanation is exactly why I watch, if I'm being honest. All the other tuts, sometimes I need to see how people work things instead of simply just finishing the project. Yeah, man, like I said in one of my videos, everyone just wants to look god tier and make, 5-10 minute videos on how to do something, and then it just works for them. But obviously, people are watching the tutorial, and like I said earlier, 95% of the people watching the tutorial are going to make it work for their project. So obviously, they're going to have a ton of issues, so you need to really explain what you're doing and why you're doing it, so people can basically make a decision for themselves. Does this work in my game? Do I need to do this? Right? All that kind of stuff, right? Real Time says, I was a patron of Ryan until he went... I went off him a little. TG's really personable and friendly, though I'm happy I switched. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. The key item slot is new territory. I read that already. I also like it here. Squeeb says, in real time, if something seems off or just doesn't work, it isn't just edited out of the video. Lets us see what's happening when certain things get bugged. Yeah, yeah, that's super important. That was one of the biggest things I struggled with before I started doing YouTube videos. Is just, the amount of times you watch something and you're like, why does it work? One video actually was the buoyancy system video. because you got this plugin, right? Which I use. I just haven't figured out the buoyancy part of it yet. The water plugin, right? Well, there's buoyancy right there, but yeah, the water plugin, which is freaking awesome, by the way. Like, if you haven't used this is like, it's in beta or experimental. It's been in experimental for freaking since 5.2, unfortunately. But yeah, you can basically create any body of water. You can set the color, you can set the wave length. You can use splines, and it like attaches it straight to the landscape, and then you can move the splines down, and it like displaces the landscape. It's freaking awesome. I love it. But yeah, buoyancy just didn't work. And there's a guy who made a video. Who was that? He's I can't remember his name. He's done quite a few videos. A lot of people like him. I don't have anything wrong with the guy, or like, I don't dislike the guy or have anything like any bad things to say about him or anything like that. But it's just this video. Like, I literally followed it exactly how this was set up, and my boat didn't float. Couldn't tell you why. I put the pontoons on, all that stuff. It just didn't float. Instead, it shot it in the air like Team Rocket was blasting off again, right? So I don't know. Couldn't figure it out, and then that frustrated me, and then I abandoned the whole buoyancy thing because I just couldn't get it to work. So, yeah, that kind of stuff makes me irritated, because it's like, I'm doing everything you're doing. There's something you're doing or something that you did that you cut out, and now I don't know what that is, and I can't fix my problem, right? So, okay. I was actually part of the Alley community, but honestly, you do more with your community, and engagement just seems more genuine. TG puts up with me, so you can tell he's a good guy. Thanks, real time. Appreciate that. To be fair, Alley, Ryan, when the community gets way too big, it's hard to directly engage with the majority of viewership. Yeah, 100%. I've actually, when I had a YouTube channel before, which don't even bother looking at it. It's fucking garbage. So, you got to fail to succeed, right? So anyways, yeah, when I was doing that, I was learning more about YouTube and how, the algorithm isn't real. It's how you make videos, right? So, well, the algorithm's real, but like, people are like, oh, you got to impress the algorithm. No, you got to build videos for people. People are watching the videos, and the YouTube algorithm picks up on habits and picks up on people enjoying your video and pushes it out. That's how the freaking algorithm works. It just pisses me off when people are like, oh, the algorithm likes this week. It's like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Anyways, a little bit of a tangent there, but yeah, one of the videos I was watching where somebody was saying that one thing he misses is when he was a smaller channel, that he was able to like one-on-one talk with his audience. Like, all of you guys coming in here, I recognize all your names. Like, you guys are part of the streams all the time. I even recognize, like, earlier we had Mike's in Miami. I haven't seen him in here before. I can recognize right away that Mike hasn't been in here before, and I can say, hey man, thanks for joining the stream, whatever, right? So, but yeah, once your community gets big and your chat log just keeps scrolling up and you can't keep up, right? Then it's a bit obviously a bit harder to kind of create that one-on-one connections, right? So all right, sorry. I hopefully answered all the questions here. I saw that Ali went full-time on YouTube, so congrats to him. I hope I can do that one day. I actually have just launched, literally 2 days ago, an AI business for creating shorts. So I'm hoping that does well enough that I can quit my job and do work on our games and do this, obviously. So David's not a member. That's fine. David's in every single stream, so David's like an honorary member. And you're a champion, aren't you, in the Discord? If you guys don't know that, our level system works on contribution. So like how much you comment, if you create threads, if you are helping people out, and blah blah blah, you like level up, and once you get to level 15, you become a realm champion, and then you get the same perks as a baron inside the members area. This is the members channel here. Tyrus, this is the members area, sorry. I wanted to ask if you can make an archery system in first person. I can only find third person setups online, but first person is much harder because the player sees everything. I mean, I've never made a bow and arrow system. I don't know if Tyrus is watching or whatever, but I've never made a bow and arrow system, let alone a first person. I suspect it would be similar to like the ADS system for the first person shooter course, right? Because you'd have the bow, and then you'd aim your bow, and it would like blend it to the front, right? And then the projectile would just be much slower, right? I'll just say it would be similar. I'm just going to say what I just said. Similar to first-person shooter, aim down sight logic, and the projectile would be slower. You're struggling on. Cool, everybody. That's a good idea. So, anyways, yeah, member. There's a lot less people in the member chat. There's a lot of memes, mind you, but you know, yeah, it's a fun place to be. You also got the giveaway stuff, and you got your own members voiceover. Your pickle. You're funny. You know, your own voice channel and stuff like that. Members only video chat. So this is like all of the member videos. Post those on there and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a really cool place to be if you guys want to check it out, become a member. But yeah, David, if you're a champion, which actually I was just going to check that. Let's check it out. Where do you go to members? Things like service settings, members. Members. Search. Nutmeg. You're a lord. What else are you? Dweller. I thought you were okay, you're a dweller, so you got to be captain, then champion. So you got a little ways to go, but I can't remember if you have access to the what's it called, members area yet. But anyways, so that's how you get there. If you can't afford membership, which again I totally understand, money's tight for everybody. So, anyways, I'll get back to this thing after I catch up on the comments here. Real time, you're funny, chirping me here. Anyways, Squeeb said in Tarkov the slots are always the size of the average weapon. If the weapon is smaller than the slot, it doesn't scale. If a weapon goes beyond the bounds, then the priority is given to sizing down the weapon. Yes. Okay. I just feel like for the scale, because we have it user specified, otherwise it's too big. We almost need a size box component on this, hey? So let's try that in a second here. I'll just catch up on the comments here. Tier says, does the water plugin let you build now? When I used it, I could not build. What do you mean by build now? Let's save this here. You know, I'll just... Well, I wonder if it only works on landscapes, personally. So here, we'll look at that after. Okay, so remind me to look at that afterwards. But anyways, so David says Azil Arts Witcher 4 baked water simulation TUD is good. Baked water simulation, eh? Oh, nice. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, real time says you could, and you said you couldn't do AI. He's talking about my AI business. Yeah, I mean, if I can get this to work out, like, that's the cheat code to life. Everybody, just get an AI business. Get them to do all the work for you, and then you can work on your game, right? So, don't scroll up. I'm in there. Squeeb, soon I will be. Perfect. Yeah, man, I can't wait to welcome you in here. Also, if you guys do become members, just make sure when you purchase the membership that you put your Discord name in so I can upgrade you in the Discord as well, right? Yes, I got the Ed meme on stream. Will work my way up, sir. Yeah, perfect. Water only works on landscapes. Yeah, that's what I thought, because of the integration with the layer system for deforms. Yeah, okay, perfect. That makes perfect sense. But yeah, I can show you guys the water plugin after if you want, after we get some stuff figured out. But anyways, so yes, we got the size box on here now. Let's say minimum desired width 64. And minimum desired height, let's say 64. We got somebody just subbed and I missed who it was. Kiss Blaze Artist just subbed to the channel. Nice, welcome to the realm. And we still got an hour left. If we can get 4 more, what do you call them, super chats, I will put my crown on, everybody. You see me in my crown. But anyways, so I think the minimum desired height is what we want. Aspect ratio is exactly what we want there. Let's say max desired height. Sorry, not height. Width. 128. That's the scale, but the BG. This is an item. What is this? It's an overlay. Okay. Do I have a size box over? I see. Max desired width. Let's uncheck that. I see. Okay. So let's delete this because we already had one on the item container, so we can set some stuff there. Minimum desired width 64 and 64. Max desired width 128. I see. And maybe we do this. Fill horizontally. And then this scales it down. What does this look like? Let's have a look. It's the effing same. So, what did we change before to screw it to not... We did this. Right? Key item scale. The ghost image, I think we want that centered as well. The ghost image scale, I should say. What does that look like now? It's still, yeah, this looks jank as F, so, and then what does this look like? That looks fine. These ones look correct. This one also looks like the correct width, just not the correct height. This must be adding a bunch of extra padding and the scaling. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's getting the actual size of this item, setting the scale to that, and then scaling the actual image itself down to 0.3. That's probably what's happening. Squeeb says you may want to make it close to the average size of all items for that slot, like backpacks. If your overall inventory rescales based on the size of the slot, you should help the inventory not snap around. Old Ark survival inventory made me rage with inventory UI rescaling. Yeah, I imagine. Ghost image should be fill, I think. Okay, let's try that out here. So ghost image should be fill. And then this needs to be a desired height as well, actually. Because items like the backpack are vertical, right? So yes. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I don't hate... I mean, this looks great. Why does this specifically look super great compared to the rest of them, you know? And then we got this issue now. It's literally because the backpack's effing huge, I think. Well, and these are huge now. Maybe that's why I did it before, just because this was overhanging a little bit. And then if you get a backpack... I think design-wise, I wouldn't make a backpack grid be longer than 5 slots. If it gets more slots, I would extend it out this way. Just so it all fits on here. But... I'm just looking at what we could change here to make this do what we want. I don't think this does what I think it does. I want this to be the default. If I uncheck these, like this, yeah, I want this to be the default of 64 by 64. So what if we make this whole thing custom 64 No, that won't work. That's not going to work. Desired on screen, desired screen. No, we don't want screen size. I made rotatable items sideways. Yes, you should be doing that anyway. In Affinity, like, you should be having it as default be on the X, like the long way being on the X, and then you can rotate it if needed, right? So just reading these other comments. Am I the only one that made the icons rotate all the way around instead of just upright, or on its side? Rotates all the way around. Hey, I didn't do that. I thought that it, either up and down or sideways or whatever, one way was sufficient enough. It's just easier to have two states to help item recognition. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so yes, back to this. Yeah, this wasn't doing what I thought it was. This is what I want the size to be all the time, unless it goes wider or higher, if that makes sense. I wonder... This overrides the width and height, but it doesn't go past that, does it? You know what I mean? Like, there's no... Like, if I scale this image up, there's no way it's going to go past 64. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it does, so... correct, yes, that's what it does. So, that is not what we want. Do we need a scale box at all? A size box, sorry. Let's get rid of the size box altogether. Let's just focus on the scale box, and I think perhaps we can get what we need. So... but this now we're running into the issue is exactly what I think Squeeb said. Yeah, making everything like close to the average size. So the weapon is huge, right? The rifle is like 10 squares. The pistol's only 4, right? All that kind of stuff. So this is where we got to think about how this can modularly scale no matter what. What if... Can I add a scale box? I can add a scale box component to this instead. Let's... do this. Let's do a user specified, and let's do 0.3 because that's what we did before. And let's hit compile. I'm still simulating for some reason. Okay, do that. Let's have a look. Okay, well that's almost what we want. So sorry, let's undo that. We don't want to scale to fit. Scales the content uniformly, preserving aspect ratio. Let's see what this looks like. That is literally not at all what we want. So yeah, so that did exactly what I said it was going to do. It took the full texture size and then scaled down just this key image to 0.5 or whatever the case was. Do we need this at all, actually? Let's do this. And where is it? Is it this? There's a size to content in here somewhere for one of these. Or is it the horizontal box? It's like, you know that there's stuff that exists in widgets. This pisses me off about widgets. You know it's in here somewhere, but it doesn't always appear on all the things. If this was set to... Oh, the content fill? No, we want it centered. Where do we have size to content? I thought that's usually... A widget horizontal box has that. I just don't see it. What if... Of course, this is a variable. Fuck's sakes. Yeah, because this is what we use to attach the actual item widget to this thing. So we need that. But I was just thinking we need this overlay as well. I want to flip these is what I want to do. So how would I make a... Well, shit. How do I do this without breaking everything? Try making the content fill. We don't want that because you're talking about in item container. Real time says, man, I hate UI work. It's so complex yet so easy at the same time. Yeah, pretty much, right? Every time I make main menu at a game jam, I struggle to keep the UI consistent through different resolutions. You know what solves that? That's anchoring. So when you go to, you know, actually here, let's go to ours because I don't even know if I did it right on this project. So main inventory widget. Okay. Obviously super broken right now, right? Okay, so up here we got the canvas panel, right? So this allows us to anchor stuff to screen. Okay. You need to make sure that the anchor point is on like where you want it to basically think about it this way. We want our player's inventory to always be on the left side. Okay, so we always want it to anchor it either to one of the corners. Okay, that means that it's going to anchor it to the corner of their monitor, right? To their resolution monitor. So we're going to anchor it from there, and then we're going to use position to modify where that is on screen. Okay. Alignment, don't go higher than 1. That causes a shit ton of issues. So that will obviously screw a lot of stuff up. So it's either 0, which is as far left as it goes, 0.5, which is right in the middle of this anchor point. These are if this is at 0, right? If position X and Y are at 0, 0.5 will be right in the middle, and same with 0.5 on the Y, it's right in the middle, and then 1 is on the the right side of it, or whatever side of it is, right? So that's the alignment. We'll set that, and then we'll offset the position here. Okay, so now for the enemy one, we want to set that up to be anchored to the right side of the player's screen, right? So now that's going to go to the corner of the player's monitor screen. Okay, so that is how you scale it based on resolution. Okay, so make sure that for your main widget, or pardon me, your main UI, you want to make sure that you have a canvas panel. Okay. And that's going to make sure that it fits the monitors to anybody who's playing your game. The canvas panel is quite expensive, so just keep that in mind, that it should probably only be on your main widget, except for if you're doing stuff like we're doing, which is we're updating the exact position of our item widgets on screen. We obviously need a canvas panel for that because we can't do it otherwise. An overlay is a lightweight version of a canvas panel because you can either go left, right, center, or full. That's the anchoring points, right? But it's a lot less draw calls or a lot less performance intensive than a canvas panel. Okay, so hopefully that taught you guys something today. But anyways, and you know what? Can I show that off? I can actually. So. Hang on, where are we? We're back here. I don't think I did that in this one because I'm silly. Anchored here. And yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then the enemy one, same thing. So yeah, they're all anchored to the wrong side, so I'll do this. Okay, so there's my size to content. That's on a widget though. Background blur also has size to content. Where's all that in my other one? Anyways, so we'll hit compile. We will hit play. I'll open this up. Obviously, this is off by a little bit. That's fine. I can adjust that. So we can say that... Oh, you know what, actually? Where's storage? We'll hide this for now because it doesn't matter. So there's our storage. You can see, well, yeah, obviously our weapons are a little busted right now, so we're just working on that. Maybe that's why it looks jank, actually. So disregard that. Anyways, we'll interact with this. Watch this. See how it's moving with my thing? It's because the corner of my screen, my resolution is changing, right? And notice how my other one is not changing because this corner of the screen hasn't moved, but as soon as I, we'll just undock this. As soon as I move this side, now it's moving my other one. Okay, so those are going to respond based on the anchor points of exactly where you anchor. What corner do you want to anchor this thing to so that when they resize their monitor size or whatever the case is, that it actually follows along with what you're doing. Okay, so that's how you do that. Okay, so let's fix this BS now. Okay. When do you anchor in the corner versus the whole edge? It's just basically the whole edge is, hang on. So let's just do the whole edge for this. And like, I'll show you. You'll see. It'll make sense. Okay, so same thing, right? I'll take this off. So if I now adjust this, sorry, not this, but yeah, you see the aspect ratio is changing? Now we're changing all of those things with there. I believe if they do this, if they scale like this, I can't remember exactly what that affects. Actually, this, right? If I make this full screen. Interesting. Yeah, anyways, I can't actually quite remember. That's a good question. That's something that we could maybe sidebar and figure out. There we go. That's what I wanted. Perfect. But yeah, full screen obviously it changes no matter. So that'll be this one, right? This whole canvas thing should be full screen. Or if you have a background blur, okay, yeah, background blur is a good example. That's full screen. Okay, so that way, any size of the screen that I change, it's gonna always have that entire thing filling the whole screen. So that's what that would be for. But yeah, these ones, I'm actually not too sure where that should be. Okay, anyways, real time miss Mark. We get more done, but he's funny as heck. Yeah, I miss Mark too. I hope he comes back soon. I know he exists because he made a membership on the website like at the beginning of the month. So he's okay, I think. Miss Mark, get yes, yeah, okay. TG, I think you can right click the HB and wrap with the overlay. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Okay, so we'll go back here. And then how does this, that's what's not a variable. So, okay, yeah, let's do that. So we'll wrap with the overlay. And then we will replace with child for this one. Or I can't. So the BG I can put in there, and then the ghost item scale, same thing. No, ghost item scale I have to put on the overlay. Or do I? Anyways, this, long story short, this goes away. Okay, overlay, horizontal box. We still can't size the content, so I don't know what makes that up here. I guess that would just be literally this, right? But this is where we would need to probably add a scale box. Let's see what it looks like right now. So it looks jank as shit. BG. Oh, hey, look at that. I see why we had the overlay under the vertical box, because it's just putting everything off to the side. Shit. So that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay. We'll hide this for now. Widget. I feel like this should, key item scale should go in the horizontal box, the BG should go on the overlay, and the widget should go on the BG. Because then the ghost, that goes on the overlay anyway. You know what I'm saying? So Oh no, this goes inside the horizontal box, which it is, and the ghost image. Okay, compile. Let's see. Can we put? Let's just set a variable in here so we can see what the hell it looks like. Grid type, not grid type. Sorry, key item widget, key item drop data. Here we go. Let's. Where do you set the? I guess you can't. So not empty. Key item tag. I was hoping we could put a thing in here, but I guess not. Okay, so we'll just look at it from here then. Holy goddamn! But at least the things are small. But where's BG? Content. Yeah, let's do that. Widget horizontal box. The ghost image we want to fill. The actual ghost image is set to fill. Key item scale. Let's do this. But yeah, here once again it's let's put this on the overlay and let's put the key item scale in there. Okay, maybe this will fix that issue. If I set it to, let's set it to auto. Okay, let's see what it looks like. These work fine because there's these here blocking them, right? But not these ones. Huh. So originally, by the way, I had the slots here, the primary weapon slots, I had as grids. And I thought that that was kind of a waste of memory and everybody's time because you're going to be putting, you want to put things that are different sizes in these grids anyway. And then you have a lot less of these slots on screen, right? So you can type in set size for the image under brush. Maybe the BG should be a child of the scale box. Well, we can't do the set size for image because all the images are different sizes. And it would distort all of them, right? So this one's really wide. This one's a square. This one's a square. This one's tall but not wide, right? So they're all different sizes. And what was your second suggestion? Maybe make the BG should be a child of a scale box. Yes, possibly. Actually, you know what? What if this goes back here, BG goes on the image scale? No, we can't. It can only have one child. That's the ghost image anyway. I'm curious to see what that looks like afterwards, but yeah, we want to just obviously work on the scale autofill, but we want, I see, BG, yeah, maybe we want a scale box on this, scale box components, and we should make, I don't think this would need one then. I don't think we would need a scale box for this, but we have it as a variable, so it's obviously, we're obviously adding the, what's it called to it, the item, right? So let's do this, scale box, scale to fit. I'm also thinking that the ammo, helmet, backpack prison wallet. I'll get basic 2x2 or 2x3 spaces for just displaying the image and don't need to scale the image. Yeah. This is a tough fix here for sure. Let's, yeah, I was also debating adding that. I think I X-nayed it, but because it's, you know, you guys can do that on your own because it's the same freaking scenario, but with the weapons, like adding in your ammo that's equipped there or something like that. Or the current magazine that's in there, right? All that kind of stuff. One thing I was going to do on stream was figure out, we'll do that in the next stream for Tarkov, but splitting up the vest, right? Because there's a lot of we're getting close, by the way. This is close to what we want. Yeah, so the vest is just a 2x3, but like actually splitting these up so they're individualized pockets. I was just playing Zero. What was that? What's that game on Steam I'm playing? It's an extraction shooter, which is cool. I'm playing that obviously because I'm trying to. Well, I like those type of games for one, and then I'm trying to see like what they're doing for their inventory, and then maybe getting some ideas for it. What's it called here? Not that one. What the hell's it called? This one, Gray Zone Warfare. That's what I'm playing right now. So, anyways, yeah, they do it like this. They don't have individualized pockets, but I think that Tarkov and Delta Force had individualized pockets for the vest. So I was just going to show that just to show the option, right? But all right, so it's close. I think, where do we set this? Key item scale. We add it to that, but we should be adding it to the horizontal box, I think, instead. The actual image. That'll be in our player state, I think. Framework, player states, where we create key items and subgrids. And then we should have set key item. I don't know if I upgraded this in the module 2. I can't remember. Anyways, key item scale. That's what we have here. Where do we get that from? Where does that come from? Oh, right here. Allows you to place content with the desired scale. I must have exposed that on spawn or something. Item widget. Where does that data come from? This is like me in most of my projects. I'm like, hang on, how does that work? No. Most of the time I can figure it out, but I don't know how we're getting this data and why it's a variable. Oh shit, I'm dumb. Sorry, I'm stupid. This is the key item slot. I'm looking for the player state. Oh, I see. That function is inside this. So this should get replaced with our horizontal box instead. Key item scale. Widget horizontal box. Where else do we have? That's it, just those two. Set key item, children get cleared. Set key item. Okay, yeah, so let's see what happens now. Wow, that does not look any better. So, do we scale it that down now? So we got the BG, which should fill. That's the scale box component. Scale to fit. And then let's say down only. Is that what we want? Scale box, yeah. Let's see what we got here. I've tried split pockets. I do not enjoy that nightmare. Gray zone type inventory will save a lot of time in dev. Yeah, 100%. David, I pissed my pants while watching a streamer play Resident Evil Rec. Tell us more. Tell us more. Real Time played that, didn't you? And you 100% completed it? I don't find things scary anymore, except the regenerators from RE4. Literal nightmare. Manifest, yeah, right? Tarkov is a horror game for new guys. Then it's just PTSD, a PTSD simulator. Pretty much, yeah. David, those demon kids hunting you down gave me nightmares. You know what game actually was like shockingly really good? Was Zombie. Well, it was called Zombie U at the time because it was on the Wii U. But yeah, you're a guy in Zombie World or whatever, and they made use of the Wii U gamepad as your inventory. So you had to like look away from the world to look at your inventory and do stuff, and you like had to constantly look up and like check and see if you weren't about to get mauled. That created such a psychological component that I can't explain, honestly. So that was a really cool mechanic. And then there's a thing on there where you can ping and it tells you where all the zombies are, but so then you're like kind of anticipating what's happening. But there was one level where your radar went offline and then you could just hear zombies all around you, and it's just like totally different psychological component that's not in a lot of games I play. So that was pretty good. But anyways, Zombies a great game, yeah, right? Frustrating as hell, but awesome. The weird yeah, I read those already. All right, sweet. So this should fill based on the size of the image. I don't think we need this. What I do think we... Oh, you know what? No, we do. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to hit compile. Hopefully I don't get any errors. Good. Okay. Let's delete this scale. Let's add a scale box. Or can I say fit to... No, I need to add a scale box component. Scale to fit. Down only. No, that's not going to work. We need to do a user specified 0.5. And what gets added to this is the actual item widget itself. Not an actual image, which is what you were saying to set the brush color, which we can because it's an actual widget. So that's, yeah, probably going to change the way I think about this here. Okay. Why can't you just scale with the fucking widget, BG? Maybe that's why this is better to do it this way. Okay. That worked, except this needs to be like this and like that. Compile. Play. Okay. That looks much better. The grid gets added to something else specifically. I see. So the grid got added to something that has the scale box component in it, which I assume is the horizontal box. Yes, that is what it gets added to. Okay, then. This is going to sound almost dumb, but what if we add a second horizontal box? That doesn't make sense though, does it? No. That could only have one child, so we can't add it to there. This keeps it in line with itself, right? Oh shit, we wanted to do this because then the actual item is in the top left corner of its grid. You guys are talking about Fear 1 messed me up when it first released. I've never played Fear 1 myself. Phasmophobia was a fun horror game for me. Everything is getting smaller every time, yeah. Real time, obviously a huge horror game fan. You could separate the horizontal box. Well, but the BG can only have one child, which is what if I wrap this in a horizontal box? Hang on, brain's starting to fail now. BG. Is that why I had the scale box before? So this solved the sizing issue for the thing, but now we just got to do the horizontal or the actual grid itself. Almost need like another. If we do another here, yeah, let me do this. Let me duplicate this. Oh, you can't, because why would you be able to? Silly. Oh, it's probably because it can't have any more children. Let's put that on the overlay. What does that do? Okay. Puts it right there, which is not what we want. We want to put it there. Sorry, there, and then add padding to the left of like whatever we had, 10. And then we'll say grid horizontal box. And now we got to figure out how to get that in here. So when we spawn our grid in our player states, how does that work? So we go set key item, whatever, and then we create subgrid. Right here. Widget horizontal box becomes the grid. I have to compile, don't I? Over here somewhere. So we need to, from the vest slot, get the grid. I didn't set that as a, yeah, I didn't set this as a variable. There we go. Get grid horizontal box. Let's check that out. Before I change the rest, I might as well just test this one. Yeah, that didn't work, buddy. Didn't work, buddy. Okay, well, it kind of worked, but it didn't really work. So it fixed our problem, but it didn't. It's overlapping the item now, obviously. So we honestly don't need a horizontal box for this. We just need yeah, this makes more sense. Let's see what happens. Okay, that did it. But the background is not working now because I need to do this. No, the background needs to go in here. The widget, that won't work, will it? Because, oh yes, it will. Okay, that should work. Just like trial and error here, everybody. Okay, that fixed our issues. Except for those now. What the frick happened there? You're just my buddy, you're my friend, and my guy, right? Yeah. All Canadians up here. Here I am giving UI advice while being UI challenged. Hey man, I mean, we're just trying to figure this out here, right? So, anyways, we got that working. But this should be here. That will probably fix our what's it called, our guns. It did, but there's a giant ass thing here. Why would that be? Let's use the widget reflector. Where right here. Pick hit testable. Okay, that's why, because the freaking whatever that is giant F enormous. Why is this one significantly smaller than... Oh, you know what? I wonder if the ghost image scale has anything to do with that. Let's move this out and see. It is. The ghost image is effing huge, so that's what's causing that. Okay, whoops, sorry. Let's stop doing this. Let's get rid of that. Okay, ghost image scale. I don't think we need this either, because we can make this work off of this. It's on the overlay already. Scale to fit. Let's do scale user specified. Let's do like 0.3. Let's see what that looks like. Cool, that fixed all of our issues. So, you know, I'll move this here. There should be a background behind that, though, so we can add another background. But that also made it kind of big. Do we want it that big? Sorry, I should have tested the other ones. What does this look like? That one's fine. It's just this one's so big. Real time's gonna write a joke down and then retract it just from that one. Whatever. But anyways, okay, I'll have to move that back so I can move this out. That looks effing jank. So okay, so now we're just figuring out the ghost image scale. There's padding. Is the ghost image collapsed? No, it's set to hidden. That's a good point, actually. We could do that. But now the images are all screwed up, right? So how do we get you down? Let's change this to the vest, because the vest looked super jank. Body armor, what are we calling this? Armor. There it is. 30-minute warning. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm super hungry because I gotta get something going on that. Anyways, that is super weird that it collapsed that to F and nothing, right? So stretch direction both. This is attached to the overlay, right? Yes, it is. So, and it needs a background as well. So let's copy and then paste that here. Oh shit. Okay, we can't do that. So this is it can only have one child, right? Yeah. Okay. Crap. Can't do that. Well, let's add another border, or yeah, border to the overlay, and then add this to that, and then this border will be, you know, same dealio that we've been doing. Brush color, 0000066, I think. Oh, that's blue. I want black, and then 0.4. What is that? Oh, 0.66. Ah, okay, whatever. Pretty close. So that's what I want for that. No size to content here. The overlay slot. Yeah, we want that. And then ghost image scale. What if border... What if that fixed it? Let's see. Almost. Right, we got to hide that border when we have something equipped. We also want all of these in the middle, don't we? I see. Yeah, that's what you were just talking about, setting it to collapsed. So let's do that, because that'll fix that issue. Inside of the key item slot, rates. Where's event graph? Event graph. This will be collapsed. Cool. There's still a border there. We gotta figure. Oh well, yeah, we'll collapse that border instead of that, and then that'll fix that issue. That actually looks like it basically fixed all of those issues, except for this is set to be at the top left corner, so that's why that looks all janky. And then we got to update these. Okay, so this is gonna work out good now. You can wrap the ghost image with a size box, probably. Oh yeah, we didn't check that. Good point. That scaled it down quite a bit, so maybe we don't need to do that. Jesus, that's tiny. Padding, fill. Which had the... we got to make this, we'll just say the ghost border. Make that a variable because we got to change that. And then... Ghost, where do we put the size box for this ghost image? Oh, derp. The scale image. I have it at 0.3. What does it look like at 1? It looks like that, eh? So user specifies a waste of time. So scale to fill? Will that break it? Scale to fit, I think, is what we want. And then we pull this out. What does it look like? Okay, that looks good. I'll put that back. Add this. That does not look good. See, this is where that desired max size is handy. But then it literally sizes it no matter what, if there's space available, which is what I don't want. I want it to scale if the item is, or sorry, I want it to not, or scale it down if the item is too big like this, but not for the vest, right? The vest, whoops. The vest looks fine on its own. Just this one looks super huge. I wonder if you just edit the texture size, actually. What if we... Yeah, maybe we'll do that, because is this huge as well? Yeah, it is. Let's just do that. So we'll go to our UI assets. Open this guy. Looking for the thing I need. Compression texture. It's in here somewhere. Padding and resizing. Resize to a specific resolution. What is it right now? It's 9. So get the calculator. We basically want this to be 0.3. So what's 994 times 0.3? So we'll say 300 by, and then 272 divided, or times 0.3. Let's try 300 by 82. Whoops. Yeah, 300 by 82. That seem good? I think that seems good. We'll save that. Let's just test that out before we continue further. I don't mind that at all. That actually looks not too bad. And then you add that in, and then sure, okay, yeah, perfect. So then we just got to do the the pistol. The pistol is 600 by. Oh right, I did that on purpose for my other videos. Compression? Where was it? Here we go. Resize to specific resolution. 600 divided by, or 0.3 is 100 or 200, sorry, by 212 or 20 would be 70. So quick maths in my brains. There we go. Let's see what that looks like. It's friggin' awesome. Love it. Okay. All right, so let's fix these now. The other ones in the player state. Grid horizontal box. Then we'll go to create backpack subgrid. Grid horizontal box. Plug in that to parent. And then creates... Where's the other one? There's backpack vest and safe box subgrid right there. This function annoys me because it's like just slightly different enough that warrants a multiple different what's it called functions, but you can't create like one that does basically modularly does it, if that makes sense. Okay. Okay. So many ghosts and not a new Ouija board. Ouija board. Sorry, Ouija board to be found. What's your name, Ghost Pete? Get Derek Acorn in here, yeah. That off-center pistol icons drive me nuts. Yeah, I know, but I did that because, like when I did the FPS tutorial and I designed these, I did this because pretty much the same sort of idea where all the guns were basically long but not widthwise, but the pistol always would stretch, right? So it looks super stupid. So I just basically drew a box that made this long as well, so it didn't look as stupid. But yeah, that's why I did that. So anyways, let's look and see how it looks now. Super awesome. These should be... I mean, honestly, I don't really mind this necessarily. I still got to deal with the border, which I'll do right now, and then this should be all pretty much cleaned up. So the border, where is it? Inside the graph. Ghost image. We don't want that. We want the ghost border instead. Is the ghost image... Yeah, that we want to stay ghost image. I think that's it. Let's check it. Look at that, everybody. Nailed it. We could... we could add some padding to these. However, that would keep the image... That would make the image smaller, but not these things. I feel like this is fine as is myself, but yeah, the sort button, Jesus, I think we should adjust that as well. Stop, that's inside the grid widget, though. No, not the text block, the button, buddy. So I did that. Let's add some left padding of like 5, maybe 10. Just give it some space. Sort button. Did I not? Overlay slot grid item canvas. Right, yeah, that's for the setting of the offset of all the items. And then a sort button. Yeah, we don't want to put that on a... Okay, yeah, so that should work good. Sorry, my brain. Still didn't give it a bit of padding. I was thinking about putting it on the item canvas. Why don't we? Let's see what happens. And then I can anchor it to... Well, I don't want to anchor it to the bottom like I was talking about earlier, because then it's going to be adjusted based on screen size on that side, but we want it to be on this side. So we'll have to offset this quite a bit. Shit, though. Because this changes based on size. Let's see how this looks. I think it's not going to look very good. Compile. Yeah, because all of them are different sizes, so it might not look very good. Oh, hey, what the... Oh, yeah, so that totally messed it up. So let's not do that. Overlay. Let's... Can I make it a part of the grid? And then say it's this way? Let's see what that does. Not quite. I think that's the right idea, though. Try adjusting the normal padding and press padding of the sort button. Okay, we'll try that. We'll put it back on the overlay. Oh, I offset it down here. I put translation on it, so that's where I did this. Okay, so 62. Okay, that's pretty good. So there, I'm happy with that. So coolio. So that fixed that issue. I don't think there's anything else I can start. Basically, sorry, not that one. This one here. Okay, so this is all stuff I'd be explaining in the first episode, but I'll drag my notebook over here so you guys can see. I gotta alter how the grids are destroyed and created to work with the NPCs and enemy players. Yeah, this is all stuff I found that we needed to change so that we can do all of our stuff. Add key item slot drop check. Are we dropping the key item on its already equipped grid? Should cancel. Oh, we didn't do that? I thought we did that. Add in key item slot drop. Is anyone done the thing? Like, to the point where they have got through episode 11? Because we talked about this, about having the... Oh, I see what it's saying. Okay, so it's saying that when you... Okay, well... Oh, that shouldn't happen. There's another little bug. We would want... Okay. Actually... Because it's collapsing this thing, so when I'm dragging it around, I have the drag item, obviously, but if I let go, it goes back and unhides it. So I think that in that specific instance, we would want to have that to be set to hidden, not collapsed, because then it would still take up its actual space and not hide that border. So where would that be? Where do we set it hidden in game? Or visibility, I think that's in the drag widget, right? Or the slot BG access none. Oh, we'll fix that later too. Anyways, no, it's in the item, actual item widget. In the on drop, I think it is. Drag drop on drag detected. Yeah. Set dragging item to dragged, and set visibility to hidden instead of collapse, because then that'll still take up its space on the UI. There, perfect. Okay, but watch this. Oh, sorry. What was happening? Oh, I fixed this already, or did I? I can't remember. What was happening was the key item slot drop check. Are we dropping the key item on its already equipped grid? It must be talking about if I was like, oh shit, I want to put this back, and I dropped it. I think I had something happen where like the grid was disappearing anyway. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, if that is happening to you guys, I will tackle that in the next live where we deal with this. So yeah, there we go. Anyways, that works. Let's figure out what those errors were. Access none trying to read real property original grid as it's not a U class. Okay, well, let's check what that means. Try swap key item. I see, it's trying to swap with itself. Is that what this is talking about? Oh, okay, that's probably what this is talking about. So, there's no original grid because it's the same grid. So it should cancel, yes. Let's go to our key item drop query. Let's add a check right here. Or sorry, let's add it into drop check. I probably don't have any screenshots of my code yet from the second module because I did fix it. I'm pretty sure I put it in here. I think I did an OR node here. So we're checking to see if the key item tag, grid type. Yeah, we're checking to see if it's the same type of key item as all that, right? So subgrid. So we check if this. I think I get it out of here. Get the key item data. Break that. If original, I mean, we can do it that way. If original grid's not valid, then cancel. Let's do that. That's the easier fix than probably what I was thinking of. Is valid. That probably can go not even in here. Let's just cut this and let's just put it at the beginning of this. Try, where was it? This one. Let's put it here. It'd have to be after this though, because we need that context. Get rid of this. Is valid. Okay, and if it's not valid, we're gonna cancel. Is there a cancel here? No, there's not. Oh, right here. Look at that. Cool. Let's check that, and that should. We'll get rid of that error for sure. All right, let's open that up. Right. Basically, all we're doing is canceling the drop, right? So there, I didn't get any errors. Perfect. Okay, I got rid of that. All right, sorry. Let's read some comments now, and then yeah, I can show you a couple things I was going to talk about afterwards. Somebody asked me about something. Was it the water plugin? Is that I said I'd backburner that? I am lazy. Welcome to the stream. I really like your channel a lot. I got to get rid of this right-clicky thing. There we go. I really like your channel a lot. Although behind the things you design. Sorry, a lot of behind the things you design and high quality approach. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks, man. Appreciate the compliment. Yeah, I try to obviously make the best videos I can here, right? So, it's going to be in the future thing. Oh, okay, I see. You're talking about something else here. I try to adjust the normal padding and press padding and the sort. Oh yeah, I did. That was before. I had to step away for a bit. My God, I got so far behind. Thierry, yeah, no worries. This will be live. You can go back and check it out afterwards. Welcome back. Not another bug. Yeah, right. Anyways, so yeah, I'll show you guys the water plugin if you want. If we have no more Tarkov related questions, I'll switch projects. I'll just wait 30 seconds and then I'll do that for you guys. Thank you for the series, Hazardous Reject. Yeah, man, no worries. Not something I normally would do, so it was actually really rewarding for me to make this series because I learned a lot in the process. So I had somebody comment and say that there's like this is like an overcomplicated series and they think that there was an easier way to do it, and I mean, I'm sure there is, in all honesty. This is just how I did it to get it to work. But obviously I was thinking about optimization as well. There is quite a bit of work happening, on screen, but, yeah, so I'm sure there's another way to do it if you guys even have ideas. I think he has something to do with materials. He had the whole grid, instead of like it all being slots, he had the whole grid be sorry, open it. This whole thing's like a material, but I'm not sure how he determines where exactly he is. Like if he gets the mouse position, exact mouse position, or whatever the case is. But then what handles the drop logic? How do you check what coordinates are full? I don't know. That just adds another bit of complexity that I don't know how to solve personally. So, yeah, I think this way is the best way. If there's an easier way, it's learned through iteration. Yeah, pretty much, right? The optimization is what I'm here for. Yeah, there's lots of optimization stuff, and even in module 2, as I'm making that, there's lots of stuff I'm discovering that I was like, oh shit, we didn't do that, and whatever, right? So, still waiting for the mac and cheese. Yeah, you're not getting that. That's for me only. Yeah, maybe if I add another tier to the membership or something, the perk will be hand delivered mac and cheese from Missouri. Yeah, right. But all right. Anyways, I'll switch projects here. I'll just go to my demo here. This is like The save game video, that project, I was cleaning it up because I was going to turn that into my demo, and then a bunch of shit happened and some assets got like moved around and then deleted, and then that entire level that I had there was just completely gone basically. And I was in the process of setting up my what's it called? Revision control, so nothing saved, and I was like, fuck's sake. So I have to basically start over, but whatever, it's fine, because I didn't have gas implemented in that yet, so I'm starting to do that here. I don't have anything relatively good to show off yet because I haven't worked on this since, but because I literally just started this like last week or whatever, 2 weeks ago. So it's really basic. There's not anything really in here. So, but anyways, I'll show you the water plugin because I do plan on using that in this demo anyway. So I tend to ignore those kind of comments without suggestions. Pretty much, right, Mike? Like, frick, people that are like, this, this video sucks because my thing doesn't work at all, period. It's like, all right, well, I could try to help you if you gave me some frickin', some things to work off of, but just saying the video sucks because you couldn't get it to work, right? Once again, going back to the 95% of people don't do their own thing while watching tutorials. That's just what people do, right? So, anywho's, get on with it. Okay, plugins, water. Experimental. Yeah, and I gotta restart the engine. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. So, Azur and I are talking about, to be honest, Mandala Element King, that's my game that Azur and I are doing, right? So, but we're talking about possibly doing a smaller game first, which is probably a better move, honestly, than doing this one. This one's kind of large. But it'll probably have like a 40-hour kind of single-player experience, this one here. But this smaller one, yeah, we'll see. There's a bunch of things in there that we can do that we can then kind of move over to this game, so it's not a complete waste of time, but at the same time, it's just good to get a game out and ship it and all that, right? So, TG, I still remember the stylish beard hate comment. Man, that one is legendary. I'll find that. That was so good. So I could do it on here. Where did I put that? Where did I I might even have that in my Google Drive. I have, where is it? Oh, not graphics, sorry. Nice comments. Not a nice comment, but, no, not that one. No, not that one either. So yeah, I'll find it. It's just so good. This guy basically was like, I hate you because, I don't know, just the shit he was saying. It just sounded like he was jealous more than anything. I did put it in the member channel at some point, so I'm sure. Stylish beard. Here it is. Try this with 80% self-adulation, please. The video gets really stressful very fast. More focus on the topic, less surroundings. People are here for the specific video title, for a clear topic inside of Unreal Engine, not your stylish beard, not your fancy room, not your thousands of other channels somewhere on the internet, not for smashing thousands of buttons for abo and cheering like a queen's marriage. Thanks, I'm glad you like the stylish beard. That's so good. But anyways, sorry, going back to the water plugin here. Collision profile, yeah, I got a lot of shit to fix in this. Anyways, so the water thing, you turn on the thing, or whatever it's called, you turn on the plugin, restart the engine, and then you come up to, I believe it's this. All, and that's at the very bottom. Can I just search it? Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Water, body custom, body island, body lake, body ocean. We can do... Where's river? We'll do river. Drag drop water layer onto the list to choose where the edit layers should be inserted. Well, sure, we'll do water completed. Okay, so here's the layer. It is pretty heavy on performance. The other thing I actually want to test right now with you guys here just to see if this is a thing. But anyways, this is the spline. You can edit it. You can see already that it's like editing the landscape, which is pretty goddamn deep. So we're going to move this up, and you can see it's already moving the landscape, right? So we'll do that. Whoops, we don't want... it up that high. And then this one, obviously. There, that's a little bit better, right? So, yeah, you can create water with this. You can come into the settings over here. And you can, whoops. And again, keep in mind, this is in experimental, so it doesn't recommend shipping a game in experimental, which is why I'm like, let's freaking get on it, right? Does this? No, it doesn't. I have another spline for a water thing where you can adjust the speed of the water based on how far away the spline is, right? So, anyways, input key, select spline points. Where does all the... Is it just this? Here it is. Static mesh settings, enable water body. No, we don't want that. Water body islands. That sounds fun, but it won't let me do it, so that's annoying. Water zone overrides. So you can put the water zone in there. So if I play now, if I go in there, I wonder if it's... Oh, okay. Or is the thing right there? Okay, no, I'm just standing on water like Jesus. Okay, sounds good. But, yeah, what else can we do here? Fixed water depth. So we can make that shallower, I suppose. Okay. Curve settings. Channel edge offset. Yeah, you can see that that's kind of affecting it. Channel depth, we can really dial that back. And curve ramp weight, we can dial that back as well. There. So yeah, now we can adjust how basically gradual this is, right? So you can adjust all that kind of stuff. That's pretty nice, actually. Affects landscape, so that will make it its own thing, or you can have it affect the landscape, all that kind of stuff. You can change, here's the water, but you can change, maybe it's this component. No, it's not. This is the actual spline, but I thought you could change like the color and stuff on it. Texture streaming, all that kind of stuff. Oh, this is all set to block. Well, no wonder I couldn't swim in it. Water components, water nav areas, rendering. Somewhere you can adjust. And I was telling, yeah, here, real time, you were asking me this question a week or so ago about the transitions to stuff. So you can have materials where the river to lake transition is like, this will be a little bit different and all that kind of stuff. So that's where you would do all that. Underwater post-processing, material, all that kind of stuff you can set there. But I want source code for Sea of Thieves water. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. The water plugin can't make good waves, though. I was planning on a whole survival horror on a boat and buoyancy was just complicated. Yeah, I can't even figure out buoyancy. It's nonsense. TG, that's a great approach. You're talking about my game. You're making a survivor horror game, but before starting, I want to make a bunch of smaller demos that feature many of the different mechanics that I import. Then I import the parts. Yes, absolutely. Hey, I like the sidetracking and stuff. The reply was funny. Yeah, right. That guy, just like, we all had a good laugh in the members area about it. But anyways, I can select this whole thing, can't I? Select all spline points. We're just gonna move this down. So it's like, yeah, that's better. Anyways, I was gonna show you something else in regards to this, and now I can't even remember. But yeah, you can... Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to test. So see how this partition stops there? I want to make this river... sorry... Control, right? Yeah. We want me to go faster. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I want to see what happens with this river. So I'll duplicate this spline point and create a more of a river. And then I'll go over here. I want this to basically extend across multiple different partitions. And where was the thing about... Yeah, and then channel depth. Edge offset. Whatever, right? Sure. Okay, so there, that looks like a Olympic swimming pool. That's, you know, a training one or whatever. Okay, I'm just gonna open my it's after 2, but I'll finish this up here. So it's window, where are you? World partition editor. Okay, so yeah, I'm loading the whole thing because I'm bad. Unload selected region. Let's load. I can't see what the partitions are though, so let's see what they. Okay, that's perfect because it's like 256 meters or some shit. Is what it like loads in terms of the partitions. So I'm gonna load this area right here. So I gotta do this. Load region. These are HLODs, right? So I'm curious. I'm gonna load. I'm gonna play from here. Does it load the entire effing thing? That's what I want to know. That's been weighing on my mind here. So let's freeze rendering. So we've frozen rendering. So now I can hit F8 and I can pilot this guy. So it loads the whole effing thing. That sucks super big dick, actually. Right? Because these are all... yeah, so obviously they're looking at what I'm looking at, right? So the camera's looking this way, so it's going to load that. But if I, turn around, it's going to load this, but hide everything behind it so it doesn't have to render it because it's not being seen on screen, right? That's how it works. But the only thing so the freeze rendering doesn't work is if this is a really good example is this is a part of the sky sphere inside of the what's it called? The ultra dynamic sky. So if I have anything that is referencing ultra dynamic sky, it's going to stay like loaded in. It's not going to hide it because I'm looking at the sky sphere, which I'm looking at literally every time I look anywhere, right? So that's always going to be seen. So anything that is a dependency of that, it's going to stay loaded. So that's what's happening here. This spline point is being obviously rendered, but this whole spline is one giant effing thing. So it's going to render this whole thing. So that's pretty broken. If you wanted to create a river system in your game, that spanned through your whole thing, right? So that sucks. Oh well. So we'll do this. Load region, whatever. Cool. So yeah, that's a little broken. But yeah, let's look at some other ones here too. So, we'll delete this one here. World layer data. So we'll delete it. Or can I? Oh, maybe I can't. Water zone. Delete that. I just want to delete the whole goddamn thing, please. Details, select all, delete. Did that work? No. I just want to delete the whole goddamn river body instance. Why is that so hard? Water brush manager? Do I have to go into landscape mode and just like delete that or what? Oh, I'm simulating. That makes so much sense. All right, now can I delete this? Probably not because I'm in landscape mode, water body, river. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we got some new ones as well. We got river and ocean and all that stuff. Let's type in water. Water body island. Look at that guy. So that's the island, obviously. So I can select this and move it. There we go. So that's obviously water, but I can make this like an actual island. I'm sure in the details you can smooth out the water curve, channel offset, yeah, all this stuff. Yeah, why not, right? And then I guess you can create a lake with that as well if you wanted. But we're going to do an island, and then we'll get another one. Water. All right, let's do lake. Let's do lake. So there's lake. Obviously, you can add spline points to this. And, make the lake a different shape. So we can do this. We can do this. We can do this and hold Alt, and then just move this, right? There's another point, so we've made another lake. So yeah, I mean, this plugin has lots of potential, but yeah, that's pretty shitty about the river thing, right? So I guess you just got to create smaller stream portions, or maybe even just make a whole new actor every, what's it called? Every brain work. Every couple partitions or something like that, right? So maybe that's what you do, or you just have clever ways of hiding the water and then add a new spline, right? So. So here's an island. Yeah, the waves look pretty good actually. I'm sure that I thought you could adjust the wavelength. Here, yeah, here we go. Like I'm trying to make the waves redonkulous. Max wave height offset. Like let's do like, you know, that. Yeah, I see what you mean. Real time. That's not great. You should be able to change the color though, hey? David, did you hear about the new mesh terrain mode in UE 5.8? Yes, I did. That looks super awesome. I'm pretty excited for that. Let's see. Someone was talking about the fluid flux system. Water plugin can't make good waves. Yeah, yeah, you said that earlier. Rivers can now transition into ocean actors. You have to duplicate the water material to change colors. Oh, well, yeah, there's other water materials too. If you go, what is it? Yeah, right here. Hi. Not that one. Where's the actual material? Or is that it? I guess that's it. Okay. Water content. I swear to God, there's more materials than that. Water surface. Water far, water material instance, water lake material. Yeah, there's different ones. Where was this one? Oh, it's just an HLOD though. Yeah, so where's the actual like material? Okay, material lake, ocean. Okay. And then what else can we do? River, water caustics, preview. Sure, what does that look like? Nothing? Okay. Water level, no caustics, blah, blah, blah. Ocean transition. Oh, it did load in. Shit, that's pretty nice, actually. Actually, there's a little bit of anti-aliasing of this kind of stuff, but yeah, it looks pretty neat. Anyway, it's cool. So that's a water plugin. I'm going to just not save because I don't want to screw up anything. But anyways, yeah, so that's the stream, guys. But I appreciate you joining by here and hopefully learning a bunch of new stuff. And hopefully you got everything you needed covered for the Tarkov thing here. So yeah, next week we'll be back to building our combat game. So if you haven't subscribed, do that. Join us next Saturday. I was like, where's my phone? But my phone's my camera. I can't remember what my schedule is next Saturday. I don't think I work. I don't work. So the stream should be able to go ahead, and then we'll keep working on that brawler game. So anyways, I bought the flock system for fish. Oh, really? That's a thing? Shit. Damn, okay. So you can have the water system go real time too. They interact with the other actors, then bake rivers for more water fidelity. Yeah. Peace out, TG. Later, Rose. See you later. Tier. Add magic. Add magic where? Guns. Add guns. Add magic. Yeah, you know what? I was debating adding some sort of abilities or something like that because just a straight brawler game's kind of boring. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. You're on nights next week. Ah, shit, eh? But I mean, I don't know if you're what part of the world you live in, but I stream at PST time right now, right? So it's 2 o'clock right now for me. So whatever it is for you guys. Yeah, I normally start at 11. So, but anyways, yeah, thanks for the stream, everybody. Thanks for joining, and hopefully you guys have a good rest of your Saturday, and you guys keep learning until you game over. Peace.